Yeah, we in this bitch. Check. Let me bring me down some. You know what? Let me fix that. Check. Check. Check.
Yeah.
Check.
Yup.
Check.
Yo.
Alright. Yo. Okay, cool.
That's perfect.
Check. Yup. Yeah, we back in this motherfucker, you feel me? Legendary episode. We here in the No Pressure Records studio once again, you feel me, on this beautiful August 14th, Wednesday night. You know what I'm talking about, you feel me? Y'all already know the drill. Hold on, see. It shouldn't be doing that.
Is it shorting on you?
It's like, check.
Yo.
Am I coming in clear in y'all headphones? Or am I a little, like, gainy in mine? I feel like it's...
You clear. It's just,
Okay.
I think...
Is it just my headphones?
Yeah, it's probably the
You
headphones.
want to listen to mine too?
Yeah. Let me hear it real quick.
So I was hearing it. It's clear.
Check. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's definitely my headphones. I'm tripping. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, that just sounds so ugly. Check. Okay, yeah, let's redo that. We starting with some music. Let's start with some music. I'm gonna play that AI. Joint.
Hey, come on.
Feel me?
I was gonna tell you, I was like, hey, if you're gonna play any of these new ones, play that.
Yeah. And we're gonna get into magic too, because I just peeped that today.
Okay, shut up. I don't go.
No, that was me.
I was like, what the fuck?
No, I gotta connect on here real quick. Task cam. Yeah, we haven't started with music in a minute neither, cause I feel like some people should
Get flagged.
Yeah, even though like it doesn't matter, cause I'm not really monetized yet. I'm trying to get there, but I still like to practice like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
Just to
act
get
as
in that
if-
habit.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know, and because it'll tell you on YouTube, oh, copyright, but this owner allows
No,
music.
it ain't gonna flag you. It ain't
Yeah.
gonna flag you. I make sure that it doesn't do that because I hate getting flagged on my own channel.
Mm-hmm.
So that ain't happening.
Yeah.
You good.
Facts.
That's some shit. I can't monetize my shit because I'm monetizing my shit.
Because you monetize it. It don't make no sense.
I can't monetize my shit because I'm monetizing my shit. I'm gonna monetize my shit. I'm gonna monetize my shit.
Shit.
While I monetize.
Fuck you, mean? I
Hard. You feel me?
Dive into the groundbreaking advancements in artificial intelligence.
I am not afraid of your A&I. Let them play, they can never fake another eye. I'm the revolution that they never televise. I don't care what you computing cause it's ill-advised. You can try to type a prompt in that Time Romans font, but my nuance cannot be duplicated in your box. I grew up in the 90s on movies like RoboCop. I kinda know the plot, that's why I'm unorthodox. Stay up on my toes, I know you wanna see me stumble, but this fly keep evolving, I feel like I'm Seth Brundle. Silicon Valley, I see vultures trying to stick their claws in my culture. You can use your mid-journey to sculpt us, but we laughing at your ass cause you soulless.
We now face unsettling concerns about artificial intelligence threatening our privacy.
Yeah.
I am not afraid of your A&I. I got Kaylin Ellis, bitch, I'll never die. I am not afraid of your A&I, unless it's Allen Iverson on the baseline, run it back. I am not afraid of your A&I. I got Kaylin Ellis, bitch, I'll never die. I am not afraid of your A&I, unless it's Allen Iverson on the baseline, run it back. I am not afraid of your A&I. I build paper planes and I make them fly. It may not be impressive to the naked eye, but what's a chat GPT to an awakened mind? You see, Udio was cool, but then you cross the line, cause we all know the catalog you training burglarized.
It seems we now face the grim reality of the dystopian future experts warned us
For
about.
those that think that AI is the answer, I hope you saw that cringe video on Canva. I think the prompt was Hamilton with break dancers. Bitch, that whole damn event should have been canceled. You see, the nuance is the chemo to their cancer. It's the pieces of the culture they can't handle. It's the reason why these vultures got no quality. The reason why they want your music in more quantities. They say the music business done, but that's not true. I'm still fighting for my art like like it's bomb-proof. I'm still fighting for my heart, bitch, I'm John Q. I know a renaissance is coming, guess I'm on cue. You need to stop with the doomsday predictions, cause what is artificial to a real-ass nigga?
Artificial intelligence gone rogue. AI has overtaken the government.
I am not afraid of your A&I. I got Kaylin Ellis, bitch, I'll never die. I am not afraid of your A&I, unless it's Allen Iverson on the baseline, run it back. I am not afraid of your A&I. I got Kaylin Ellis, bitch, I'll never die. I am not afraid of your A&I, unless it's Allen Iverson on the baseline, run it back.
Humanity stands on the brink of a new era of digital domination.
You could have just kept the going. That shit was.
Is there any hope left in this battle against
Come on, let's go.
creation?
What is we talking about right now? You know what I'm talking about?
Crazy.
We got some legendary shit going on.
Yo.
Come on. Finally, I ain't got to watch it for my timeline.
Yeah.
I get you know how many times I done seen it come on timeline? I'm like, damn,
Yo, we at?
that look fun. Maybe one day I get an invitation.
Hey.
We here, man. What we talking about? Yeah.
It's lit, man.
It's fucking lit, man, and we appreciate you coming through.
Perfect
man.
timing.
Appreciate
for
the
real.
invitation for sure.
We've been, you know, looking forward to this.
Yeah.
This is legendary, you know, because let me give you your flowers first of all,
Appreciate
man, because, you know, watching, I was going back over the last 6 months. I've really been on a mission to get monetized. Like I'm trying to get my high school diploma.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like
I hear you.
when I get there, it's gonna feel great because it's a lot of work. I started at the bottom of your YouTube.
Shit.
2,000 views, 800 views. You know what I'm
Nothing
saying?
but songs on there. When I was using YouTube like a Dropbox.
That shit
I didn't know what I was
crazy.
doing. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just uploading everything I got.
And that's literally what are we
Literally.
doing? I'm like, nigga, upload it. It meets our standard, the quality. We fuck with it. We love
Yeah.
it. Boom, boom. And then if it's not, we got another drop.
Yeah.
I
You
don't gotta
don't have to worry about that.
I don't
You
gotta
gotta
be
throw
perfect
shit at the
right now.
wall. You got
I'm
to.
not gonna lie, it's just surreal. Like, you feel me, seeing your name, like being in high school, and then, you know, actually meeting the person. It's just a little surreal moment. So, you know, like you said, give you your flowers. You feel me? We
Appreciate
like to
it.
do that shit.
Wait. You said in high school. How old are you now?
I'm 27.
Oh shit.
You not. Look, we was just talking about this shit though. You feel me?
That's the second time that happened this night.
Look. I'm about to be 28 though. But look,
Oh
Curtis
no!
King.
Not you throwing the last one in there.
Curtis King is for the young niggas, man. Look,
Come on. You know it's always
real
love.
shit.
For
As
everyone,
always.
you know, because if you're an artist and you're not familiar with Curtis King, just go on fucking YouTube. You've seen him on your algorithm at one point or another.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Especially during this Drake and Kendrick run.
You a fan of hip hop?
We'll get
Like,
into there, but, you know, just all in all, man, like
Yeah.
everything you're doing
Yeah.
has been so important for the culture, you know, especially for us out here. I've been seeing the DIYer movement go on for years, bro.
Yeah, man.
And so just to see it flourish, and like I remember I opened up for you at the Vibe in like 2013, bro.
2013.
2013.
That's flat top
2014.
Kurt for sure, huh?
That's
Yeah.
flat top,
Yeah.
for sure, Kurt. You know what I'm saying? And you know, bro. And back then, I was like, man, looking at your videos, I'm like, that's fucking crazy. And then you know, and just seeing everything come full circle for
Right,
you.
right.
You know what I'm saying, man? Congratulations on all the success and just what you're doing for the culture. It's important and it's much needed. You know what I'm saying? Especially, it gives us guidance, us artists, a guidance of all ages, like Trey was just saying.
It's a
For
full
the
circle
young,
moment,
especially
period.
for the young ones just getting in here and scratching the surface and getting your feet wet. You're gonna get ahead. It's like watching Curtis King's content is like AP class. You feel me? You
I
do
appreciate
it.
that.
You feel me? You go get ahead in some stuff. You go do a little bit more. It's like it's all there for you. And sometimes we just need to access it. And this is the man that
Man, I appreciate that. Honestly,
talk.
I appreciate all that. I look at what y'all doing, and I'm excited that there's more folks out here. I'll tell you that right
Yeah,
now. Like
yeah.
there was a
Absolutely.
point in time when, and not just more, just random folks, like folks who know they shit, like y'all know your shit, who passionate about it, and also who put the culture first. Because there was a time period where existing in this space as a rapper was seen as like almost like an embarrassment by the peers. I had peers that were looking at this shit like, what you mean you finna go to YouTube and that's gonna ruin your career?
Facts.
It's almost like they saying it's corny, like, or something.
Of course,
like,
but that's a lot of shit they said that I did was corny, and now niggas is doing it now.
It's almost like you a witch in this industry. You feel me?
Come on,
Because,
like
and then when niggas see you like really having some success with it, they double back and be like, all right.
Look, I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna say this. I know why Kendrick gets the boogeyman.
Crazy.
I know why he gets the boogeyman name because obviously he has earned that, especially in the space that he's in. But like, as smiley as I'm in my thumbnails, like I'm really the boogeyman.
Yeah.
Niggas won't say it, but like when you know why I say that? Because I meet people and they be like, Curtis King. I'm like, yeah, Curtis King. Oh, okay, yeah. We talked about you in other rooms and and I'm like, where y'all niggas at when I drop new shit? Where y'all at when I'm doing shows? How everybody in here know who I am, but I don't know any of these people for saying anything to me. Shows, I would do shows. I would kill a show, and then I would see if somebody who was like, usually it's when I did shows in LA, because LA it's a different energy depending on where you go in terms of the shows. But it'll be like, I saw you kill it last night, and I'm like, where was you when I was like, make some noise?
Yeah.
So what I realized is
after
that
the set,
after the set, just to shake hands or whatever. But
facts.
I realized a lot, and that was years and years ago. But I realized that a lot of this stuff is, you really do have to put your head down and just make the focus your work and not the validation from anybody else. And before you know it, you're gonna look up and you're gonna hear stories of, damn, I remember when you did this, and I remember when you did this. That's what keeps me young. That's what keeps me hungry. That's what keeps me going at this like it's my first day. I don't ever lose that hunger because I know I remember vividly what it was like starting this shit off and being told how stupid I was to do this.
So I got a question, like, when you first like really got into it, because I know like we work with a lot of different artists and shit too, and then they in turn become fans. We become fans of them and stuff. Talk about like some of the moments where you will be around these artists and it's kind of hard to make them a fan because they're also doing the same kind of work you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I think that was an ongoing thing. I think your generation is probably going to be one of the first ones that really closed the gap from the most popular person in the room is not just the person that got clout. It's not.
Facts.
It's not the person that got cosigns. I don't give a fuck about your cosigns.
Yeah.
Like, who are you as a human being? Would I rock with you? Would it be more fun to make music with you than it is with my homies? Because right now we killing it, we doing numbers. We got it's a different generation to where y'all are not as blown away by somebody just saying, "Oh, I'm this person." I don't give a fuck who you are.
Yeah.
What's the next generation after this? Is it Gen A?
Gen Z, I think.
After Gen Z. Gen A is gonna be worse.
Yeah, they is.
Oh, they gonna be, and I mean worse in a good way in that they not really gonna give a shit about any of this.
I'm already seeing like the shift with really just kind of like the way people are creating content and dropping it, and they're going about their music. And I think I seen like Tyler say this. I think I seen like a post on Rap Genius or shit like that. Tyler was saying, we have a lot of artists that kind of feel like meme artists, and they're passing off as artists, like actual artists, to where like it's salting it down. Yeah. To where you see the actual artist really putting in his work and like, hey, I just did this all off the strength and actually putting something to my work. And you see a motherfucker post and it's like a meme and it's going crazy.
But you know what though? And I saw that. I'm gonna react to that tomorrow. I want to do my reaction videos. Yeah. But you know what I like about that? I get excited when I see that because to me it feels like. When it feels like it's about to chip out, it feels like it's about to hit its pinnacle, and everything's going to shift back over. Like shout out to my guy Stevie. We always talk about a renaissance being underway. He's the one that called this shit. He called this shit years ago, right?
We had the same conversation. Facts.
So I look at this and I'm like, good. I'm glad that that's picking up steam because that's all you got. I heard a quote and I applied it to social media too. They said some people are so poor all they got is money. Some people are so poor, all they got is views. Some people are so poor, all they got is, you know what I mean? So I look at this from a perspective of like, oh, good. I need you to tire the people out so that when they come to somebody who really does this shit, and I can speak on this from an artist perspective, you're not going to want none of that shit you had before. It's almost like when you finally get a meal, it's like, okay, I'll give you an example. I'm not really somebody that eats steaks, but I had a bad steak, the first one I had, trash. And then I had one of my exes, her father made a steak, and it had horseradish and all this shit. And I was like, what is it? Dog, I felt like it was heaven inside.
Change your life, right?
And I was like, oh, that's what a steak tastes like. I think it's the same thing when it comes to what we do. When it comes to like, you can get content from somebody who kind of know their way around, or you can get content from somebody who's doing it. I think that's what's happening with LeBron right now, with him doing a podcast with JJ Redick, and that now JJ Redick's a coach, of course, of the Lakers, but him doing that makes a fan say, I want more than just somebody who's a journalist who never balled before. I need to know what it's like from somebody who's actually out there now.
Yeah, that's actually doing that shit.
That's why I'm so heavy about, like, I'm not a content creator / artist. I'm an artist that does content.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So even when I do reaction videos, I'm still Curtis King, the artist, talking about these things.
And you know, I had this confliction. I'm so glad you said that, because I came to terms with that. I was like, you know, when I first started the podcast in 2021, it was like, you know, people were, oh, your podcast. Yeah. I'm like, no, nigga, the album.
Nigga, what are you talking about, man?
And it was kind of like, I'm not a podcaster. I kept saying I'm not a podcaster.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm seeing Mcduff. I'm an artist, and I make content for my music and everything else below. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just a part of
the evolution of all of this. We're supposed to do this.
I feel like everybody, if you're a rapper, you should, outside of the music in 2024, like, you got to be more hands-on, and you got to be able to.
I'd say you this. You know, I know we probably going to end up getting into it at some point, but when I took my music down from streaming and I just focused on direct-to-consumer, I saw how important content has become to the point where I'm like, fuck am I doing music videos for? Like, respectfully, I love the art of making. Like, as somebody who's into cinematography, I love piecing together a treatment. I love getting the right shots, the right color correction. I geek out on that. But as soon as that video's done, as soon as you run through $4,000, $5,000 worth of budget, I'm going to take that very same video and make vertical clips to promote it on Instagram.
Facts.
So why am I going towards that step? Unless I really just want to do it for the art, which I don't have no issues with. That's your art. We got to do it. But if I'm going to make music videos, why don't I take this song and, you know, squeeze 6 or 7, 8,
everything
10
out of it.
And then I can do the same thing for the same verse in another scene, and it feels different.
Exactly. And you can shoot like a quick vertical video real quick. And saying the same verse.
Let me say this real quick. Peep game too, though. When you shoot, what is that, landscape?
Yeah.
And you turn that into a vertical video, that quality is significantly less than when you turn the camera and you actually do it, right? Because the way the pixels add up. When I saw that and I started shooting all my content like that, like, I got live streams that I'll only shoot with the, I use a Lumix GH5, and I'll only shoot it vertical. Now all my tripods are built so that I can do vertical. I got a TV mounted in my DIY stage from home. I got a stage that's at my house that I do, like, live shows and all of this stuff.
Super fire, by the way.
Appreciate it. We got to get you on there for sure.
Man,
that's easy. So I tell you this, when I mounted the TV, I told him, I looked at Amazon, I was like, I need a vertical mount. Because now I'm shooting the videos vertical. Now the TV's vertical.
And then it'll be like this with the black space.
And I'm using OBS now to do the color correction, the LUTs and all that stuff. So now by the time I finish a video, the music's already synced, the color is already corrected. All I gotta do is add the lyrics and then maybe some cuts here and there, but the video's done. So, like, as a DIY or as a do-it-yourselfer, the key to it was automation. And so we living in a time where that's possible. So now you mean I can get up and I can shoot 10 pieces of content in about 2 hours if I want to.
Facts.
And then not even use it over the next 2 months if I need to, like, spread it out for over the next 2 months. So we living in that time. So I say that to say, like, it's so many things that didn't make sense before that we got to make. We have to make a new sense out of it. Yeah. But that's why, like, it's good that you it's good that y'all in the podcast space, because you're gonna bring something that somebody who's just a podcaster is gonna overthink.
Yeah,
and not overthinking this shit, bro. Is it?
Just do it. And once I realized that, nigga, you can do whatever you want. Just fucking do it. Just do it. And I found a new love for it. You feel me?
Yeah.
And picking up the camera, and you know what? Everything you're saying about the music videos, we love shooting, like, TV shows. We have a TV show we shoot. We have.
I see it, bro. The quality is nuts. I seen that shit the other day. I was like, what the fuck?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So that's all y'all shooting at.
Yeah, bro. We just be trying to push these ideas out, bro. Like,
that's crazy.
And you know,
because you know people who shoot their independent films and like they'll get little minor things wrong, like the timing, the comedic timing don't hit. They'll keep a scene too long. Y'all got that shit down packed.
Thank you, bro.
I think you know what it is. It's me and him like really like getting in that mode to where we watch a lot of movies and a lot of like TV, so we digest it and then kind of like, I wouldn't say regurgitate, but we expand on it.
Yeah.
You know, we put out something and we understand it, and then being like involved in that shit, it's like, how can we do it?
How can you take this idea and simplify it? And the whole goal was like, when you go through it, like, you might see some things that you like, oh, if they could did this, or if this was lit a little bit, or if this sounded lit, you know. And I'm like, it's okay because it's the first one, first season, and I want you to be able to watch it and be like, yo, if this was on Netflix, I get it, and you know what I'm saying, and just make it watchable and enjoyable enough, you know, because it'll get better. And you know, going into something like that, it's like, how do you even do that? But like what you were saying about the music videos, it's like, that's like a whole nother level of nerd I could transform into with the camera and just setting up the camera and just being cinematic and stuff. But
think about, I'm about to say it is a love. I'm with you on that. But think about it now. Like, for me, the most creative moments for me as an artist, as a producer, as whatever I'm doing is when, not when I get more things to work with, is when I restrict myself in some way. Right? You only got these 5 sounds to work with. You only got this amount of time to make this kind of a song. That's when my best moments happen. Instead of having like, you know, back in my pirating days, a homie hit me with like 20 gigs of sounds. Nigga, I did not know which one to open up first.
Yeah, because you almost feel like overwhelmed a little bit.
Analysis paralysis.
Yeah,
but then when my shit crashed, and I could never get it back. The first beats that I made, I was selling beats at the time. The first 5 beats that I made when I first got a Splice account, my highest selling beats that I ever had, and it was limited. So I use the same thing with what we're talking about, in that when you're doing vertical videos now, you don't have all of that side to side to work with. You got to make this composition look
right here
crispy. And you got to know whose movement gonna do what. You can't move all this shit over here. You got to stay right there and figure it out. But I love it because now I'm looking at it from the AI aspect, and that I use, for one of the videos promoting the song that y'all play, AI, I use a shit called generative fill, F-I-L-L, generative fill on Photoshop, and it can basically take a landscape video that's like this small, and then it can give a top and a bottom that didn't exist. So like if you watch one of the videos,
fills it.
It basically fills it. So I had a video where I was at a basketball court, and I was like, I'm not really trying to let folks know where I'm living at and all of that shit. So I said, okay, let's just take the basketball court and the bottom of the concrete. And I said, let me just sit with AI and just see what backgrounds it generates. And I just started putting in different keywords. Like, I want to the song is about AI. Like, it's kind of an anti-AI, but it's kind of not. But it's like, I said, have a robot upside down, but like it's destroyed. And it made that shit in the back. I said, put a pavement on this side. All right, put a robot that looked like it got stomped out in the front of me and literally expanded the whole shit. Where where do you shoot this shit at?
Bro, that content, I loved how you did that for AI. And before I dive into that, watching your content and seeing what you did with the set, with the lights, everything, and turning that camera vertical, every time we go out, even if we film landscape and do content,
you need that.
Just throw on there real quick,
bro. Don't film without vertical.
You gotta get
so much more vertical now.
I'm not gonna lie though,
quality when you upload that footage and you're editing, I'm like, oh my god, it's something a little more satisfying. And it's exactly like what you said. Like we've been doing a lot, like the mic hanging videos. You feel me? If we got time, I want to shoot one for you.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And little things like that. But we're filming vertical a lot of the times. It just kind of changed the perspective. And like you said, you know how you get that satisfaction of creating a full music video. I still find that with turning that shit vertical.
It's like a dab with the time.
Because it just looks so good on the gram, bro. And
it's not a one take thing. I'm pretty sure there's some music videos now. Like I seen Juvenile did a video to a song. He should have did a video way back when.
Yeah, he did. He ran it back.
But I look at that and I'm like, imagine if he would have took that video and broke it down, like, and you got to give a lot of props to like Russ and LaRussell, who kind of like reinventing that wheel. But imagine if he would have took that, and instead of trying to get that one off, he got 25 pieces of content. Because I could tell you right now what Juvenile could have did. He could have did first verse is one piece of content in one location. Chorus, he could have did that as a lifestyle kind of shot where he's not even reciting it. Second verse could have been another piece of content. Then you take it, do a live version of that. He could have did a live version, say at a show, but then he could do a live version at the NPR, not the NPR. What is that? The Tiny Desk. He did the Tiny Desk joint. So like, that's the time we're living in where people are like, I can only watch your music video and get the same feeling so many times. Yeah. But this content, like, I saw one of the important pieces to La Russell's team, Tieta. She said she looks at content creation because they put a shit ton of content.
Yeah, every day, nonstop.
She said she treats it the same way that you feel when you go to Netflix and you see a TV show and you like, let me see what this is about. Like Breaking Bad. When I first saw Breaking Bad, I saw one episode. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Well, I didn't even know. I've been seeing this right
catch
here.
up. So then what do you do? You binge watch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, in order for somebody to do that with your music or your content, nigga, you gotta have content. You gotta have a hell of content for them to binge. So now I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, well, how can I create a bingeable experience? And when I started thinking in that way, everything can be content.
Fact.
Oh, and you know what? Because whenever you go on Curtis King's page, I'm not gonna lie, it's a few minutes of
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that.
We talking your shit too.
And it'll be a clip with you at the desk talking about some shit, and then the next one you're rapping, and then the next one you're in an interview with fucking Lupe Fiasco, and the next one you're sitting down with La Russell. It's like, bro, what the fuck?
But see, but that I think that's the beauty of it is that. That's why you really got to, at some point, just put your head down to the grind. Because at some point, you're going to look up and be like, nigga, we got 300 videos. Where the fuck did that come from? But when you have that now, when somebody comes to your page and say you had some shit from 4 or 5 months ago, they don't know how old that is.
Fact.
To them, it's like, when I first found it, it's gonna be a funny example I ever had. Look, I was out in Long Beach visiting my mom when she lived out there. And I was only there for 2 days. But we got like it was me and my sisters went downtown. We started getting drinks and all of that shit. And we was taking photos every time we got drinks. Tell me why one of my folks on there was like, damn, niggas is drinking every day. Like, you good? And for some reason, that shit stuck with me. And I was like, I can create the reality through these posts. So you have the perception because I just posted I posted stories, I posted a couple. I said, oh, you think I'm doing this shit every day? Every day. And that was yesterday. I just changed shirt one time. Yeah. So when I looked at that, I said, oh, I get to create that experience. But now you may imagine you came to my post last week, didn't know shit about me except for the Drake and the Kendrick videos. You'd be like, oh, okay, that's just a YouTuber. And then you start looking at the music, you're like, oh, this AI shit kind of tough. I like this. And then you be like, you see me with the La Russell interview, not realizing that I'm just stacking up. Yeah. Because I'm still actively in this as somebody that's a participant. I'm like, bro, you like all of that shit that you just saw, I'm going to pocket it. And I'm not going to share all of it. Yeah. I got archives. And even if I do reshare it, these niggas ain't going to remember it. Yeah. How many times you dropped an album and somebody said, hey, what song is this off of? Or what album is this off of?
I'm like, bro, you were here when
Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me.
Every time.
Well, you should do more shit like this.
Like, we just dropped the album like that.
Like, bro.
Wait, you mean the one that you told me that you left fire emojis on the comments on the video?
Like, people, you not listening. You not listening.
Yeah. And hey, what shit is that off of? That's your whore. Stop it.
And you know what? That's why, doing content like this, it's not like, here's my new album. Here's my new music video. Here's another new EP. Here's a new single. That gets so repetitive and redundant. And just every day, it's like, I could be rapping with K-Dot on this song and no one's gonna listen to it because that's all I post is music. So doing like something else, like, the content and then, there's so many. I didn't realize when we first started a podcast how many other things that the doors opened for so much more, and I see it, and it's taking me some time to understand how much work you actually do, and because people don't understand just the tech side of this shit, bro.
to make this shit look as easy, because like somebody will look at this and be like, "Oh, this nigga's just sitting there talking." It's like, do you understand the technical difficulties? Do you understand? Like they do that to me. Somebody one time called me an armchair philosopher. I want to beat this nigga ass because that shit hurt my feelings. I ain't gonna hold you. That shit hurt my. He used to call me an armchair philosopher. I said, "Nigga, what made you even say that?
How did you even think of that? Like, nigga,
What made you say that? Like,
what the fuck?
I was like, I can hear you. I can hear you. Don't you talk to me like that in front of me while I'm sitting here in my armchair. But he said that, and I realized that people see what they see. And to you, a lot of times, you're not even a real human being. You're an avatar. You're an idea. You're a dartboard for them to throw all of their aggression from their job, from their significant other. They get to come to you and say all the shit. Like, it's funny. Like, shout out to this was one of my friends on here that I met through my platform, the homegirl Tanisha. She said, I just got off of work and I'm finna talk some shit tonight. And she sure did. They was talking about how like I wore shorts the other day, and then she talking about she said my knees are like the Simpsons. I was like, oh, and the whole chat started going in with these knee memes. And somebody said, damn, she clocked out just to clock back in. But that's the time we're living in. So I think what's so dope about when you do a podcast, you talking about doing that, you're saving yourself from having to do other extra work by literally sitting up here and saying, okay, let's do a 2-hour podcast. Dog, you may say something in this interview for a project that you plan on doing in 2025 you have no idea about. That's what I do. Like, I'll sit up here and I realize, like, nobody knows my archives better than me. And sometimes my memory ain't shit, but my archives I know better than me. Nobody knows better than me. So I sit up here and I got an album called that I'm doing right now with the homie Iman Amari called Beige.
Yes.
You know how many videos I done said?
That's fire, bro.
All that content.
Yeah.
You got an album coming with Amani Martin. That's
Bro.
so dope.
It's still kicking in because we still mixing and finishing everything. We got a listening party coming up, but a private listening party. Everything's gonna be online as well.
That's crazy,
bro. It's crazy because that's really my brother now. Like that's really because I've known him for years. We cross paths. You know, it's the same shit. We're like, oh, we got to link up. Oh, we got to work. And we never do it. Never follow up.
When you finally do though,
bro. I did one interview about him, and it's crazy because it wasn't music that did this shit. It was content.
I've met more people through non-music stuff, and I'm like, bro,
I'll explain.
I'll
give you exactly what it is because niggas love talking about themselves, and if you tell somebody, you want to do a song with me? That's a lot less appealing. I don't care how dope you are. That's a lot less appealing because if they got management, they got to run it through some channels. If they got a studio, they got to book a studio. If you tell somebody, hey, would you mind if I interviewed you and allowed you to talk about yourself for 2 hours?
Facts.
While I remind you of the things that other people respect about what you're doing.
It's almost like you got to psych yourself out to be
different.
like your biggest fan. Like, once you become your biggest fan, everybody else follows.
Yeah, it's not, content is not work then. When you're your biggest fan, it's not work no more because you look at it like, don't nobody got to wake me up to be a fan of the Lakers.
Like, exactly. Because you love the Lakers. You love the Lakers. Like,
that's a fact. Like, and
I don't mean to cut you off, dude. That was my bad. But yeah.
That's a fact. What's happening?
Help me, please. Help me.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of legends in the motherfucking house tonight. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I see that. Sometimes the button
you gotta hold that. I'm noticing you gotta hold that bitch now, probably.
You know you're talking to somebody who deal with this shit all the time. You ain't gotta explain that to me.
Only because you're here. You know what I'm trying.
You ain't gotta explain nothing to me.
That's crazy.
Bro, I didn't have times where I was working on music and I did a series called Flocation where I make music online. I got 2 cameras going. I ignored the chat for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
These niggas was in the chat yelling at me because one of the cameras had froze and it was the ugliest face. And I'm in here writing. I'm thinking shit going. I'm like, dude,
you in there,
that shit frozen.
They're like, change the camera.
Yeah, that's what they said. They said, hey, the other camera don't work. And I went like, because the whole idea of Flocation is that it's a vacation through the flow state. So I'm not listening to nobody give me no input. I want to hear that shit. I want to make some music and I want to like get there. But this is a sacrifice. When some shit happen, they can't tell you.
Yeah.
People wonder, like, when I have my chats, I be having like 20 moderators. I'm like, that's so I can keep my peace of mind. I call them snipers because they get in there, they get your ass out of here quick.
Yeah.
It used to be just me.
For sure.
And I used to try to clap back. I'm like, you can't do what you need to do. Yeah, you can't balance, especially not making music. That's not. I don't feel like I'm in a a comfortable space if I got to be combative and creative.
And how do you do that? Being online,
Yeah.
so much, right? It's inevitable, right? You got shit talkers, like you said. He was an armchair philosopher. You know what I'm saying?
He called me an armchair philosopher.
That's crazy.
I will never forget that. He said that shit like in 2014. I'd never forget that.
And you know, like, that's crazy, bro.
I've never heard that, bro.
Is it just
I didn't either. That was the first time I heard it. That was the last time.
Like, you have to be
that's
like,
hating that shit.
That's why that shit hurt so much to this day.
that's
To this
a world
day.
class hating like term.
How do
I don't want to get your advice. I don't want my advice from an armchair philosopher.
That's professional hate. Like,
that mean.
you're a professional like hater. Like, that was. I don't. Oh man,
He
that's
created his own category. I'm sorry. What was you?
No, that's what I was.
crazy.
Because I've had people shit on my videos.
Yeah.
You know, and it started off. I tried, making my copying literally bar for bar, copy same topic, everything.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I'm copying you because that's what you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah, that's what I do.
And I had somebody on my first video. I mimicked one of your videos. You had it has 3,000 views, bro.
Yeah.
It's years old.
Yeah.
And I did it, and they're like, yo, this is horrible. You need some better edits. You need this and this. And I start arguing with them. And then I watched it later.
For the bait.
And I was like, damn, this is ass. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And I took it down. But then that was the one time. Because I had a realization, about one comment. I get so much other shit, bullshit. It's like, how do that, you got to ignore that shit, right? Because you affect so many lives. There's people who look up to you. There's people out here who go to you for advice that you're helping change lives, right?
Yeah.
How do you balance that, being online so much, and like you said, coming into this game with that narrative, people, rappers and everyone like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, okay. So in my early days, I was beige raging. Every single time. I was admittedly beige raging every time because I was like, I would treat it like it was somebody in my face. Like, nigga, you ain't gonna say that shit in my face. Like, I was doing that kind of shit, right? You wouldn't say that shit if you was right here. Like, but it's like, I had to realize something. I'm real, but this environment isn't. And no matter how aggressive I get about trying to remind them that, they will never see me as a real human being. And it has nothing to do with my ethics. It has nothing to do with what I stand on. This is not even a real experience. They're looking at me through a window in a device called a smartphone and having a conversation that they don't have all day long with anybody else because they're talking to people. Maybe they're not talking to people. You're not real to me until you're real to me. So I think a lot of people are thinking they're just saying shit into the void. I used to argue. I still to this day, I got it. My thing is this: you got to graduate steps.
Yeah.
My shit is maybe I don't do it every day no more, but I do it once a month. And that nigga gets the worst.
Yeah, and
whoever that is, they didn't even got to say no cold shit. It's just you the one. You now is the example I'm finna get.
Up 10 of these.
You know what? I choose you, Pikachu, nigga. I choose you. You the one. And they be like, I wasn't even that deep. Yes, you're right. You're right. It probably wasn't. But I'll tell you what helped me was I got advice from this dude. He's like a professional hypnosis dude. Okay. He works with UFC fighters. He gets them like into the right mindset and like has them visualizing a win before they get into it. It's a cold job. But this dude, I didn't been under hypnosis a few different times, by the way. Just admittedly telling you.
I saw you on a stream talking about it.
That shit is real. That shit is. I'll tell you that. That shit is real because it's not the cartoon shit with the clock and all. It's not that goofy shit. It's really there's a way that somebody can give you a certain line and a certain pattern, a certain order of words that starts to talk to your brain in a way that you don't consciously understand, but it's rewiring it right in front of you, right? That's why they always say like words cast spells.
Yeah,
no, facts.
Words spell.
Yeah,
right. I think there's a lot of power in it. So
or the tug, we just talked about that.
He gave me some game one time, and he said, "Never forget." Whenever you find yourself getting mad, never forget that you're the cause and they're the effect. You're the cause.
You're in the car.
No, I'm saying you're the cause, not the car. You're
I'm saying you're in the car though.
You're in the car. Like, okay, so yeah, basically saying that you're the reason why they showed up. Matter of fact, when you can get from not only you the cause and they're the effect, like nigga, you're here because of what I chose to go live with today. You're here because of the content I created. Get bad or good, guess who showed up? I did it. I'm the cause. You're the effect. Know your place. that's one aspect of it. But then also, too, you realize that that's their existence, not just with you, but it's whoever else they choose. You get to a place where you actually start to feel gratitude for some of the trolls, because it's like, damn, you was going to troll today, but my shit got your attention enough to choose
My
me.
shit got you to choose.
And
You
the
feel
fact
me?
that
To choose
have an
me?
opinion off of something I'm saying.
Wait, you that passionate about some shit I just put together like that?
Whether
kinda
you're
my
mad or
concept.
showing love.
It's
I'll
kind of
take
that
that.
concept, bro. Like,
I'll take that.
it's how I feel about internet bullying, bro. Like, I heard somebody say, like, if you're being like internet bully, and they make it so easy for it to become your reality. Like, you know,
Right,
you can
right,
actually
right.
make it your reality. If you're getting internet bullied, just log off.
That was Daylight.
then it's
Daylight said that shit. He said, you bitch ass nigga. He said, I
Just
can't. He
log off.
said, I don't believe in no cyberbullying. He said, nigga. He said, this nigga typed in all caps to me. He said, log off.
Yeah, just log off, my boy. Like, or like, you feel me? If you really that sensitive and you really just want to be on the internet, they make it so easy. Like, you can block this person, or you can do all this extra.
You know what
shit
though?
and
You know what though?
You can't block the world.
Look,
Like,
you know what though? You know what though? I think at some point we're gonna have to have another conversation years and years later. There's a lot of our folks in our generations that have a humiliation kink. They just don't. They haven't admitted it yet.
Oh yeah.
Like I low key had to like call my own shit where I'll see something somebody says and I'm like, oh, you niggas got a thread of shit, huh? I'm gonna read every single one of them comments. And I'm like, why am I doing this shit? It's almost like a humiliation kink to a
I
certain
want to
degree.
know what you motherfuckers is thinking.
Like, damn, y'all thought that deep? Oh shit, I was thinking that same shit. I thought nobody else seen that shit. And you do that to yourself. No,
Yeah.
like it got to the point where shout out to my guy Ruslan. He's in the Christian hip hop space, but this dude, bro, like let me tell you how much pull he got now, because his numbers is crazy. Tyrese flew him out to his house in Atlanta based upon content of him doing reaction content. Mind you, he's a rapper. He started off as a rapper as well. Got into the content space. He taught me a lot of stuff that I do right now with my reaction content. Tyrese flew him out to the house to have a conversation about Christianity, which is his space. My dude almost got his channel taken away because he reacted to some Joe Rogan content. And I just jumped off his stream. Not only was he reacting to some Joe Rogan content, his whole thing was he about to get 4 strikes. Your channel was gone. Your channel was gone. Mind you, he got 600,000 subscribers on one. He got 200,000 on another one. Like, he got a staff he's paying. Bro, because of his network and all the people he's interviewed, he was able to get somebody who knows Joe Rogan. And then he got a direct response from Joe Rogan because of some reactionary content, bro. Joe Rogan said, I'm going to clear it out for you. Now he got his channel. He got no issues. So I'm looking at that and I'm like, and you talked about it earlier. Dog, I chose to get up. I changed my shirt. I don't think I was even wearing. I don't even think I changed. Like, the shirt and the bottom didn't even match.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm gonna get on camera because they can't see my legs. So what?
Yeah.
And I'm about to do a reaction video. You know what I feel like doing? I feel like talking shit today about why I feel like Lupe Fiasco might be hating on Kendrick. Here's all the evidence I got. This nigga pops up in the chat,
That's how it happens, bro.
and I'm like, that's
That
the
was a
world we're
good
living in now.
conversation.
Yeah.
And he
glad
said,
it
I
was.
always see you. I see your face popping up on my stream.
He didn't say that at first though.
Yeah.
At first he was like,
He was
I was
always-
doing some house cleaning and I just happened to see. Stop it.
Stop capping.
Stop it.
You see Curtis King if you were in the hip hop field and you watch hip hop content on YouTube, you see Curtis King's face.
They gonna do that, but that's how they do it.
Like that.
Look. I said I'm the boogeyman. Now I understand what my guy Stevie. Shout out Stevie. I understand why he don't show face. I'm like, you niggas is fake, bro. Like, I know what that feel like. I know what that feel like. I'm starting to get it. I'm like, I'd had niggas call me the same wrong name 2 times in the same week. I ain't gonna say who did it, but niggas was like,
Or you ever meet a nigga like,
Cash is king. Cash is green. I said, Curtis King,
Curtis King.
first of all. And then spun the block 2 days later and said, Cash is king. Cash is green.
bro?
Don't fuck my name up twice and then give me another name.
That's
the same.
exactly
I'm like,
what I was about to
You know
say.
what's funny? Come on now, but no. One of the times it happened at a LA event. Tell me why Cash Green walked up before he changed his name. Tell me why he walked. I said no, that's not me, but that's him right there.
Yeah, that's him right there.
I need you to visually make a separation in your mind. But see, it's getting to the point now where I think I'm starting to really understand my purpose in the content space that I'm in. Like, it's been so many times, and I wonder if y'all have had this. Is my question for y'all actually. How many times you had a time where it's like, did this situation not pan out because it wasn't meant for me, or because God was protecting me from it, right? And what was he protecting me from? Because I look at some of these scenarios and I realize, like, damn, they always tried to push me off to the side and act like I didn't exist. They always tried to act like my contributions weren't my contributions. They always try to belittle the things that I did. They always tried to make the DIY thing seem like it was something to be pitied and not to be prideful of. Yeah. And no matter what I succeeded, they made it act like it never happened. So that I really started to feel like the boogeyman in this situation. Like we were talking about earlier. I really started to feel that energy. Instead, then I realized, no. Shout out to my guy, Dorian Group 82. He'd tell like it is. He used to do reaction content. He got into the sports space. He said, I ain't about to give your black ass that con. He said, ain't about to give y'all platform to you. He said, that's all they got. See, if they give it to you and people see like, oh, that's what authenticity is like, they leaving. So in their minds, I didn't see it like that because I thought it was like we all trying to break bread. We all trying to figure this out. But that's what it was for a lot of these platforms. So now I'm looking at it. I'm like, a lot of these folks are starting to kind of circle back around because it's too loud to ignore. I had a homie of mine that said, stop trying to figure out how to get people's attention and figure out how to make it impossible to be ignored. That changed my whole mindset.
Facts.
That changed everything because your whole approach changes to everything now. Now it's like, I'm not doing shit for attention. How can I do some shit so loud that you look stupid for acting like you don't know what's going on?
You can't even front on it.
So
you can't front.
Through quantity, through quality, through I'm not going nowhere. Like even like my social media numbers right now, they're not accurately reflecting the growth of my YouTube.
And can you posted something?
Yeah, go ahead.
And I want to talk about this shit.
Please do.
This gets me really fucking going. Ugh. Like, you know what I'm saying? This fucking like, cause people are talking shit.
Oh yeah, they crucified.
Like, how are you gonna take your music off of Spotify, Apple Music? How are you not gonna go through DistroKid or TuneCore, right? You took it off and you posted what you made and the money, and I'm like,
quiet. They got so quiet, it was loud.
Niggas with 1 million followers on Instagram, not pulling that kind of money off. What is we talking about? Yeah. And I seen that, and I was like, it made sense.
Yeah.
And because I listened to more music on Bandcamp. I started off on Bandcamp in 2013, 14. All my releases on there. Soon as DistroKid and stuff became more popular, I got on there around 2016, 2017. Fuck Bandcamp, fuck SoundCloud, right?
Yeah.
And as of late, I've dropped 14 albums, you know, and after a while, after it drops, I'm like, that's it? I'm like, there's no way that's it, right? And so seeing you take that route and going that way and going to Bandcamp, and I did that on this last project, and we've made more money off of that than I have in the last 2 years of streaming.
Bro.
Off of one tape. And I'm breaking bread with the homies, sending out PayPal, breaking down PayPal, because it's straight to your fucking account.
And you get the money the next day.
And the next day.
Not 3 to 6 months. Not after DistroKid get their cut. Not after Spotify get their cut.
You get and then I could put it, because I don't think any album's worth $10. I think I'm 25. I think 50. I think 40. I think 50 and 2 T-shirts. I think 25 in a physical copy. You know what I'm saying? Something to, and you do that a lot. You give so many different, incentives and different things with every drop. Can you talk a little bit about, the process to doing that? And because that's a big move.
It is. And honestly, it terrified me. It had me terrified because the only example up until then I had was Prince in 2015 when he took his music off of streaming. But that was 2015. We hear years later. I'll tell you this, and my guy is here, but you'll have a moment where you have a crazy thought, and you almost know you right on time when you meet somebody else that assures you it's not such a crazy thought. And matter of fact, they help you start making sense out of things that you haven't even given enough thought to because you already thought you was crazy for going down the rabbit hole. And then you meet somebody like Stevie. I started talking to this nigga Stevie. I was like, oh, you didn't went down even further down the rabbit hole. Wait. Oh no, you went in there and made a cot and all kind of shit down there. But I tell you, I hadn't seen bro in a few years, and it was at the Firewater, and it just on some random shit. And we was in there cracking jokes and all of this stuff, and quoting Marlon Wayans from Wayans Brother when he said, help me, please. Just having a good ass night. And then he was like, I want to show you some music. But we got to talking, and that conversation started a domino effect because he was pushing the idea that what we do is a fine art. And not that I think that we are detached from that, but we say it and it's kind of like a loose definition. But the way that he had visually put that together, I was like, yeah, even I need to go revisit that idea.
Yeah.
And he led the charge, and he said Renaissance early on, and that was a domino effect. I was like, hey, as long as my boy don't think I'm crazy, fuck y'all.
I'm not,
I had to say that. No, like, because it's so many people that I'm like, people that I trusted their opinion, and so many people who didn't even want to give me the credit. Like, you think that I am, like, what do you think I've been doing over here? You think I've been getting stupider?
Yeah. I think society makes us forget that we're the artists.
Yes, especially now. That's why that Tyler thing is so potent, because it's like they're treating people who are treating this as a hobby, like the professionals. They're treating the memers like the musicians.
Yeah. Sometimes online, the memers and the people doing it for hobbies are viral as fuck.
Yeah, but see,
have the endorsements and the.
But it's not the art.
And it kind of confused it. And I think with so much of it, this is what you were saying earlier, like, more of it. Because, we know it gets to a point where the ship is going to sink once it gets too flooded, right?
Yeah.
And it has to restart, or the system has to crash eventually, right? And you've spoke about this with, some of these Spotify conversations over the years, you know what I'm saying? And you've been standing on business, like, you know what I'm saying?
You too, Spotify trying to pay us petty with these new slaves.
You feel me?
Come on now. Yeah, come on. I heard that. I was like, yeah. You don't know how many times me and Steven have seen some shit, and it's just nothing but laughing emojis in the DM, because it's like, these niggas is crazy. And all of a sudden, like, SoundCloud is launching a direct-to-consumer option. That's Kanye come out of nowhere. What we need to get off of these streaming websites. Where was you? Was you on YouTube, Kanye? Did you see something? You happen to come across, because nobody else was talking about this content. So I think that was also something, too, that was important, is that and I think, not to disclose so much of the conversation we had, but we started realizing, me and Steve started realizing, like, oh, these niggas got the same internet, and they watching the same shit we watching, and they see everything that we're doing. Matter of fact, they're zooming in even more because of how much it stands out. And I think sometimes it's sometimes when you're operating in a bubble, like being from the house, it's hard to see where that impact is landing. So now I'm getting back outside, and I'm seeing, like, oh, the energy has shifted.
Yeah.
And even now, as I'm like making, because now my whole thing is this. I said I was going to take my music off of streaming for a year. I said that from the jump. And I'm almost at a year, right? Even as this project comes up, it may even jump up before a year. But my conclusion was this. I had to get rid of it to see what I actually needed to make some money at this. And it wasn't streaming.
It's not.
My brain now says streaming is not, and I talked to Glass about this, and he kind of disclosed this too as well. Like, streaming is not a music store. That's where we get this shit wrong. That's where they get this shit wrong. By posing as a music store, you're insulting me.
Yeah.
Because my shit is worth more than 0.0003. I don't want to hear that shit about what a stream is worth, because y'all determine this based upon your business model, and you knew that we was the easy come up. So let's not even talk about that. Why don't you give me the option to even put it up there for free? If right? So if just free. I heard somebody say that, and I'm like, okay, they won't even give them free. So my thing is this. They're posing as music stores, but in all actuality, Spotify, Apple Music are social media websites.
And yes, that's crazy.
But look at how much content we give. How much content do you give Instagram and don't get paid for it? Like, bonuses aside, how much do we give TikTok? How much are we giving to YouTube right now? And we don't like it, but it's not about that. It's about, let me leverage the reach that I can get on this platform.
Yeah.
Okay, well then that to me is con. That's why I started doing like what I call strippets. I was like, you gonna pay me a fraction of a penny? Why don't I give you a fraction of a song and then tag that shit up and advertise on my shit?
And run this 10 seconds up a million times.
You running Coca-Cola ads on my shit. Why can't I run CurtisKing.com on mine?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I share this because I don't think there's any secrets in this. I share this now because I realize that the more of us that do it, then it's a movement. It can't be just one person. It's got to be more. It's got to be so many. We baby's kids. We don't die. We multiply. I love that line because it applies to this shit. Is that if it's enough of us out here, if it's a few people acting up, they know how to get rid of you. They know how to make shit difficult for you.
I think a lot more people are waking up to the idea that like
now
Instagram,
that you did.
If he dies tomorrow, a lot of these motherfuckers not gonna be artists.
And
at all.
They're gonna be out of here.
And that's good. That's why I say more. More. Come on.
You feel me? Let it.
Because eventually,
For real,
it
really gets like that.
what's the outcome of it? You know what I'm saying? Because like if I'm making more money just off my Bandcamp, I don't really need to.
What are we doing?
Go over there because those are just loose listeners. Those aren't people who are even buying merch 9 times out of 10 or even know about the podcast. But the people on the Bandcamp, they can follow the page. They can be, and I know you've spoke about some other websites, other platforms. Do you use anything else outside of your? So you have your website.
On my website, and that to me that is the awesome of because you get certain websites like Wix. Wix has an audio player that lets you upload your music directly. Like I have my music ready to go. And for whatever reason, Bandcamp said they want to get rid of Curtis King. My music is already ready to go. Only thing is, what I don't have is the app functionality yet. Right? So the app functionality on Bandcamp is dope because it works just like streaming. People don't know this. Is that you download the app and it's a free. It's no subscription. Whatever you pay for, you now have. So you stream it the same way. You can play it in the background, turn your phone off, just like Apple Music, Spotify. But people don't see that because, first of all, it's not the fault of the artist. Bandcamp also got to get the fuck off their ass and get out here and start advertising what they do.
Facts.
But I think I wonder how much trouble they're getting from the majors, how much trouble they're getting from these bigger platforms because they know. But it's funny because now these majors, like for instance, not majors, but like these distributors, for instance, Empire, now is partnering up with Bandcamp so that they can help their artists go more direct to consumer. One of the artists they work with is Jason Martin. Jason Martin just released Chupacabra, and it comes right, and it comes with the cassette tape, with the headphones. It comes with the whole get down, and it's like that's them leaning into direct to consumer. But when I did it earlier.
You was crazy than a motherfucker.
When I did it early, and the thing is, it's not like I didn't have other examples of people who were doing it. I wasn't the first. It's just I did it at a time where it stood out in a way that's like, how dare you stand out? What do you think this?
You
what
did
do you
it at the peak of streaming.
The peak? Maybe it was a peak. I didn't even think about that. But I
with the amount of streaming, and you know how they said all those hundreds and hundreds of thousands of songs that are just all over Spotify.
It definitely was getting to that place. But I could see the writing on the wall, and I'm telling you, as soon as I saw Spotify say that we're gonna stop paying people if you don't make an annual 1,000 streams, I said, oh, this is not just problematic to up and comers because that's how they market it. That's how they package it. They're gonna tell you if you're an up and comer, you're not gonna get paid because what it does is it turns more experienced artists against you. Because they'll be like, yeah, fuck that. I should get that money. You barely doing this. It's the meme rappers that no, it's not about that. If you have an extensive catalog, there's a chance that some of those songs are not generating 1,000 streams. A year. Maybe it's an interlude. Maybe it's a skit. That's still traffic that you should be getting some money for. But people didn't see that. I saw that and I said, oh, so instead of paying us, y'all are going backwards. This is before I viewed them as a social media. Now I get it. They're a tech company, just like Instagram, just like TikTok. They're just they just want us to believe because there's stories of people who because you got folks in here who flip the profit on it, all of a sudden we're supposed to look at that and say, oh, it's a profitable thing. No, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's LaRussell. I don't care if it's Russ. And they say I made millions of dollars off of this. I want you to make tens of millions of dollars off of your streams because of how much traffic you accounted for to these platforms. And it's not about just me. I just want to see everybody make what they deserve. Can you imagine, like Busta Rhymes said this, can you imagine telling a nigga that I accounted for a million people that went to your website. I'm gonna pay you $3,000 for that.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Who are you? And that's what I get baffled at just the simple thought of like, who made this system of and tell us 1,500 things? How do you calculate that from a record? Like they made this system of.
Yeah, and we weren't in the room. We went in the room, and
we ran in there,
and they made it in a panic because of what the pirating was. Right. Pirating is still around. My thing is this: if you apply the same, and I'm gonna hand it back over. I know you're getting ready to make a point, but like pirating is still here. Let's think about for FL Studio. So what did FL Studio have to do? Or Image Line, they had to figure out how to get so embedded in the community that people wanted to pay. They had to figure out, like, all right, who's the people who are doing it wrong, and how can we get their attention? They got my attention. It's one of my first million view videos was me talking about them talking about potentially suing me if I didn't get my shit together. I was pirating the website, but
I remember that. That was crazy.
That had a domino effect because it was more than just them hitting me. I didn't care about, like, once they said that, I said, I'm going to buy it. I got the money. I'm selling beats. I got it. It wasn't just about that. It was about, I wanted to start the idea that, all right, if we are human beings that believe in you reap what you sow, right? No matter what you believe. If you believe, like, even in karma, whatever it is, then you don't think of some kind of karma for stealing their shit?
Yeah.
Right, like I'm not trying to guilt nobody because we all didn't, we all, especially in our era.
Real talk.
But I had to go in there and talk to. I went and I got invited to an Image Line office that was in Inglewood. Didn't even know they had one there. It was like another base, the U.S. base or whatever. And I got in and I talked to some of the coders, and he was like, "What a lot of people who do it don't understand is that some of these coders is living their own struggle rap stories." Some of these folks in here got families at home, and they done been coding for the last X amount of years trying to get this shit off the ground, and they finally launched just to find out they shit is all getting torn it. It's like that story sound familiar. Putting out music and that shit get bootlegged. So when I saw that perspective, I saw like, oh, there's an opportunity for me to evolve my thinking on it. So now it's to the point where it's like I even tell the homies, like the homies always come to me with like, man, you want that? I'm like, no, I don't even want it. I don't even want it because I feel like that was stopping my cash flow. When I made that video, I thought not another sponsor was going to ever touch my content again. After that, I could left and right.
Yeah.
So I look at it now, and I'm just like, we're getting to a place now where we're being asked to evolve in different ways. And
you know what? That you might have been, like you said, they needed to find a way to make it a community almost, right? Because the narrative about FL Studios is, I had the 808 Mafia said it, every Southside said it, like so many producers, it was free. Like we just got the bootleg version. And nobody was getting the bootleg version of Logic or Pro Tools or this or Reason or something. It was always FL Studios. So that happening almost has transformed like the whole narrative about the whole brand and
because my thing is how you gonna complain? Like, and I say this now as somebody who understands both sides. Like, you gotta get to it. If you can't afford it, you gotta get this. You want to make this a career, you'll be able to make your money and get it later. I get that. I was on the same time. My thing is this: don't be surprised when karma come knocking on your door and niggas are stealing your beats, stealing your samples, stealing your record deal opportunities. Where you think that shit came from?
So if you don't act on it and do things the right way and care about it with that shit, because I think a lot of people, the way you're thinking, like, I can't do that to hip-hop and the culture that feeds my family and that I love so much. Look, so why can I do that to this coder over here that feels the same way about what he does?
I talk a lot of shit about Drake being a colonizer in his culture, and I stand on it. But nigga, I was a colonizer for Image Line. I colonized the shit out these drum packs. You hear me?
Yeah.
Before I got my, but I the thing is, I knew what I was doing, and I knew it wasn't right.
Yeah.
And when it was time to take accountability, I didn't try to like get away from it. I said, all right, bet I'm in the wrong. How can I make this right? Yeah. So now my shit is I love the feeling of I paid for this shit. I love the feeling like I'm first of all I'm grateful that I finally started making enough money to be in that situation.
Absolutely.
And secondly, I'm grateful to be like, no. Like, I remember one day I went on when I was still in the producer community doing content. I was like, if you a new producer that never sold a beat, let me know. Let me see your band, or let me see your beat stars. And I just started buying beats, and like it felt good to even be in a position to do that. Because remember, I was like, I wish somebody could have did that shit for me.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of that stuff is when you really want to level up, when you're in a position where you're like, all right, God, like I got the essentials taken care of. Okay, I'm starting to understand. I'm getting some motion. It's almost like you owe it back. Like it's almost like when you borrow money on the house, right? And you gamble, you borrow money on the house. Like you got to pay that back at some point. You giving grace. To me, that's what it is with pirating. It was kind of like okay, I'm borrowing money right now, but I gotta pay that back either through. I gotta pay that back either willingly or through violence. Yeah. And they chose violence on me.
Real talk. I think that goes back to like you being like business minded.
Yeah.
More so, because a lot of people like they don't know that you are almost like a business yourself, and like we're seeing like an uprising, and you know the people that are more business minded being like more like brought to the forefront.
Right.
If you don't know how to actually market yourself and actually put out the content and actually do it yourself, like say like back in the day, and I say this to say that Jay-Z was really putting niggas on game because the blueprint was really like kind of like a cheat code, and it was telling niggas like the dope dealers was making their money regardless because they know that crack sell. You feel me? So it's like we got a product. Let's put it out and let's go sell it.
Yeah.
And that's by all means. We don't gotta rely on streams and this and this and that to go sell our music or that's like somebody telling you can't go sell your music right now because you feel me, you don't have a DistroKid account.
Bro, I look at that and I'm like, every time somebody says it out loud, it feels just as crazy as what I felt in the moment when I was talking to Stevie about this shit. I'm like, I didn't tell nobody to do nothing.
Yeah.
All I said was, hey, this shit that I just paid hundreds of dollars for the mixing of, hundreds of dollars for the video of, hundreds of dollars for the graphic design, I think I should get some money back. Or I think, you know what? I think the investment that I put into this should reap some rewards that are more than 0.00%. And it wasn't the people who were at the suits over at Spotify attacking me.
Yeah.
This niggas doing the music with me.
Yeah.
It's the niggas that didn't understand it.
I am trying to go to bat for us.
But you know what it is?
And
They
you
haven't
calling me
reached that.
crazy.
They haven't reached that like that mindset. Like it's a lot of different people. It's a lot of different people that laid it out for us. You
I'm
feel
on
me?
your side. I thought I was. I was like, I'm not you. I'm talking to them. And I'm like, I'm on your side.
Real
I'm like,
talk.
they like, nah, I ain't with all that making money shit. Like,
I'm grateful for like the people that actually like the OGs that actually kind of put it in our ear that this is the way you do things. And then we didn't listen to it because we thinking it's just music type shit. You feel me? Like Nipsey was a big help, I know, for a lot of like the homies in my generation that
right.
kind of set them in motion of like really doing this shit yourself
and
being a hustler, because a lot of motherfuckers are not hustlers.
And you know what?
It's being exposed. Like
hey, this is the era. This is the year for all that.
real shit.
I feel like Nip was one of the first people that like, I'm like, okay, merchandise. Okay. Before Nip, I wasn't thinking about merchandise, you know, and how to do this. He was thinking about music and business a whole different way. And I felt like after he passed, Lil Russell picked up kind of where Nip left off.
There's a few folks I feel like they're picking up for sure.
A lot of people that he touched, like they took it and ran with it, and you can see it.
Because you can kill a messenger, you can't kill the idea.
Yeah.
And you can't kill the evolution of the idea, because there was things that I'm sure that Nip was limited by just by region.
Yeah.
And he was probably going through his own little struggles too.
Oh,
at the same time.
And you heard Black Sam talk about it recently, and that there was folks even internally that was making it difficult to maneuver with certain people, like a DJ Khaled out there. So I'm looking at, like when he brought DJ Khaled out to so I'm looking at this and I'm like, well, Lil Russell now can take the little bit that he learned from here and now apply that in Vallejo, and Vallejo's whole get down is different. To the point where the first question I had for him was, how you getting these shows off and your neighbors is not calling the police on you? He like, well, first of all, they know we've been in the community. Second of all, they know that our families and lived here, so it's not like we just some outsiders trying to. So certain things like that, maybe that doesn't happen in LA today. Maybe that doesn't happen I think it can happen in IE.
It happens. It's just, it's I think a lot of more ego based. Like,
but that's everywhere. Because even when I went to Vegas, and I didn't realize how many issues years ago in the hip hop scene that they had until somebody told me and put me on game. I was like, oh, that shit exists everywhere. So it's just a matter of who has not just the audacity to try it, but who has the unforgiving spirit that says, I don't care if none of y'all niggas show up. Yeah, I'm finna do this. And I feel like those are the ones that are getting paid off, are the ones who are unapologetically showing up. I don't care if this shit does numbers or doesn't do numbers. I'm not going nowhere.
It's energy for real. Right. People feel it.
But that's, to me, that's younger artist energy. I'm learning from younger artists right now in that, because there's some times where I look at numbers and I'm like, damn, that's a reflection of where I'm at, where my reach is at, and damn, is my value here? I look at some of the young dudes, they like, Give a fuck. I'm about to put 4 more videos out.
Absolutely.
Real shit.
You gonna see me.
Yeah.
I'm
And
not
nobody can
going
take away
nowhere.
from your accolades.
And you know, I had to stop, you know, and I've told this to the homies, like, I'm like, bro, we're dope. I'm like, stop. We got to stop comparing our talent based off other people's success. You know what I'm saying? Because we look at the trophy. Every post on Instagram is a trophy for somebody. It's an accomplishment. It's nothing bad. No one really posts something bad on Instagram, you know? And even then, that comes with some type
Even when you post bad, they like, oh my God, thank you for doing it. It's so inspiring. Nigga, that's content. Now, like, it was a time where I was like, man, you should post your not so highlights. I'm like, nigga, now that's content.
Yeah,
that's fucking content.
You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
Somebody said, I seen an artist jump on. He said, hey y'all, rent this dude this week, and if I can't get these streams up, we're gonna get put out. So here's a song. I'm like, nigga, this content. You're not getting put out. You just paid rent today.
That's funny, bro.
But that's where we're in now. So now it's so much the Matrix that it's literally a parody of itself now.
And it goes back to what you said earlier. I want to. It's good when I see it, and I'm like, because I see it more and more. I'm like, I can't believe I'm watching what I'm watching.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're literally, you know, like,
bro,
you know, like, I love
how many
this.
times?
I love this shit. Like, I grew up like watching Get Rich or Die Trying with my pops. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember, you know, I got a couple bad grades, and I had the homie. He was giving me rap CDs, like I had like Commons B, Donuts, you know, Tribe Called Quest, you know, everything, the starter kit to change my life. You feel me? Busta Rhymes and shit. So every day I'm listening to that shit, bro. I'm obsessed with hip hop in like the 7th, 8th grade, and you know, so just seeing how much I fell in love with it, to see somebody who spent 20 years of their life not really giving a fuck about it, and on their 21st birthday they like, I'm a rap, and you know, and it's like, although like I look at it, I'm like, that shit whack, you know, there has to be a balance, right? So they make us look good, but you know, at the same time, I can't be mad at somebody for seeing this, because this was the dopest shit I seen, like, growing up, watching, you know, 8 Mile, watching these hip-hop, watching Beat Street and Breaking and shit as a kid. Like, I was obsessed with it. Like, so I understand it, but at the same time, we're the artists. And, like, they can't determine how much my art is worth at the end of the day. I want the people who want to purchase it determine what's it worth to you. Or I'm gonna say, like, when they did the $100 for a tape, like, and I'm like, absolutely, that's not even that crazy to me anymore. As crazy as it was, I'm like, absolutely, nigga.
I'm glad I got into this shit.
This whole album is worth $100.
Real talk.
That's not even a lot. When
even the experience that he gave, because he gave some people went and saw him recording Victory Lap. Now, this is unfortunate to say now, but nobody will ever again get that opportunity because of the circumstances. He gave that as a part of the buying experience, and his big thing was he was not anti-streaming, but he was like, we got to figure this shit out another way. He said, my goal is to give my people experiences they can't stream, and that stuck with me.
Facts.
Because I'm like, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Give experience. Like, that's why I put so much into the packaging for it. I had a project called Home Movies. It wasn't a long project, but I put together this appreciate. I put together this blockbuster video pack because I was like, that's an experience you can't stream.
Yeah,
I gotta clap it up for that.
The
whole delivery was super sick.
I appreciate it.
I love that. I love that.
I was even with the extras. I was like, I put black gloves on, and I'm like putting this shit together. I ain't gotta put no gloves on. I put this shit together, but I'm like, I'm handling food and all that. But it's to me, once again, those are experiences that you know, damn. Because Curtis King is a DIYer, he touched every item in here for whatever value that means to somebody. He autographed this shit. He hand did this. Like, if you knew that every piece of clothing that you was buying, that ugly ass clothing from Kanye, that you was buying with them holes in it and all the shit he be having and them crazy. But if you knew that he was cutting the holes, it's a different value.
Yeah.
So I'm still not buying it, but it's a different value.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not buying socks.
Keep it a whole stack. I'm not buying that shit.
Socks,
especially when I see these videos where niggas like, I bought an XL. This shit is a triple XL.
Bro.
But I look at that and I'm just like, all right, that's the time period we're in. But here's something I notice about the viral folks, bro. They're terrified to sell something because it bursts their bubble. They just will never say it because once you know that, it makes it look a lot less effective because it's like, wait a minute, you got 1 million followers that every time you drop something, every time you just cough on Twitter, they going crazy, but they don't buy nothing.
That's crazy.
Not even a $20 T-shirt. So of course, when I started realizing the people that were criticizing me the harshest were people who had either had money to be made in streaming by gaming up artists. Mm-hmm. It was people who were playlisters who game up artists. Mm-hmm. It was artists who had figured out almost like when you think about the whole scenario of like the house slaves. Like, we eating good. What you mean we need to leave? Like, we good here. Like, I look at it as folks who are doing well, and they trying to convince me because we eating shrimp and not dirt, even though shrimp is the bottom feeder of the ocean, we living good. And I'm like, dog, I know. I really know what we deserve, even if you can't see it. I know that you have gotten more than me, but it seems like you don't even know what you deserve.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it. I zoom out and I realize I was like, it almost got to the point where I wanted to stop talking about certain shit because I was like, oh, when you're given the vision, you're burdened with the responsibility of seeing it through. Mm-hmm. And you and only you.
Whoa. Can you say that again?
When you're given a vision, you're simultaneously burdened with the responsibility of seeing it through. That's why when you explain it to other people, they're like, I guess, or I don't get it, or that's stupid.
Yeah.
Because when you're given that vision, it's in 4K. When you explain it to somebody else, it starts to lose resolution because they start to add their own
perception of it.
Do this, and you should do it like this. And it's like, no. The problem also, too, is in our brains, when we share an idea and somebody gets excited, it spikes off the same dopamine of accomplishing it.
Yeah. Facts. That's exactly what I was about to say. I think, like...
Scary.
I'm glad to say that, like, and I think for a lot of people, like, especially us in this room, I'm glad to say that, like, we got into making music at a time where, like, it was just a love for this shit.
Yeah.
And I think, like, in this culture, it's not like a real love for, like, the art of it.
Well,
and that's why we're seeing a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? Milked. It's literally getting fucking milked by, like, you know, the labels.
Right.
Even, like, the artists, really, like, they're seeing, like, these people have this overnight success, and it kind of, like, warps the distortion, like, in their minds, like, they think, I can go do this.
Yeah.
And it'll be, you know.
But you know what I'm starting to come to peace with is that whack shit helps in the evolution, too.
Yeah, facts.
They make
need
us
it.
look good.
We need it.
Like, it makes us look good, but also, too, like,
Real shit.
it takes some supremely whack shit sometimes for you to be like, man, fuck that.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm doing this.
No disrespect.
Yeah.
I feel exactly.
What the
but
fuck?
It took that. You gotta give the props, even if it is wax. You gotta give it the props for existing.
It lights a fire.
Because it lights a fire, or it just gets the ideas moving to the point where even the people who, like I said, they tried to, you know, they literally tried like in all senses of the word on the internet, tried to like crucify and like burn down my name and anything I ever tried to accomplish. Like, they did everything. And it's funny because not even 4 years ago before that, I prayed about having thicker skin because I felt like I had real thin skin and I reacted really like angry to everything. I had a temper about everything, and I asked for thick skin. I read about how to have thicker skin. I watched videos on it. I went to, you know, all these different things because that meant so much to me. I was like, damn, some people just let shit wipe off of them like water. That wasn't me.
Man,
I be beige Rasian. Okay, so it took me having to go through the fire to understand how to react when I get burned. So now, fast forward to the whole Kendrick and Drake thing, niggas can call me everything that you can call me.
oh, you were like,
Man.
And I was laughing the whole time.
you can't let that like.
2 years ago, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I'd have had a breakdown because I'd have been looking at this shit like, man, they questioning whether or not I'm black or whether I'm. They look at that. They talking about this. They talking about my hairline. They talking about this. They talking about my kids. They talking about. Now I look at it and I'm like, they're supposed to.
Yeah.
What they supposed to do.
Because you did it
this.
when you was a viewer.
You put yourself out there to do this. You put yourself in the line of work that we are doing. And we've watched it over and over throughout the years, you know, just growing up. This is what the artists kind of like have had to like go through like in real life.
Look, that's the entry fee. How about this?
Yeah.
I had a vision. When things got the hottest, and I was like asking myself, I be having these mental conversations. I feel like that are literally with God, and I say, are you sure I'm ready for this? Because they the saying like he don't give you nothing that you can't handle. I was in Home Depot of all places, random. I was like, you sure I'm ready for this? It was a random thought out of nowhere. I'm looking at the weed whackers or some shit, and I'm like, God, you sure I'm ready for this? Because like I'm looking at my phone, the notifications going crazy, and it's like, oh, you shut the fuck up, I hate you, West Coast nigga. All of this shit is under me. I said, you sure I'm ready? And the vision of being at a theme park came to mind. And I feel like that was placed. God placed that in my mind of, you want to level up. This is the entry fee to get on the ride.
Yeah.
This is not just, this is like, I got to have haters. No. This is the entry fee. You can't level up until you pay that price. Everybody who's gotten to a level that I aspire to get to, they didn't went through it. So why do I think because I got feelings and emotions that I'm above that kind of ridicule? Matter of fact, speed it up.
Yeah.
Because when you speed it up, I get to get to the that is the entry fee.
Yeah.
When I saw it like that, then I started to view it from a different thing. First of all, you're not attacking me because Curtis King is a name I made up.
Facts.
Dewan is a name I was given at birth. None of y'all know who that is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I look at that and I'm like, first of all, you're not attacking me. You're attacking the presentation of me under a fictitious name. And it's not even about me at that point. You're just yelling into the abyss because you're angry about whatever it is you're angry about.
Fact.
When I saw it like that, I realized I was like, this is the entry fee that I was worried about? I'm not arguing with none of you niggas. Y'all can have it.
And
y'all got it.
yo, you did all that, and I just ignored you.
I know my energy is way more important.
Or even wait. Even if I didn't ignore you, I can block you today.
That's what I was saying. Like,
and feel no way.
It made it so easy for you to create your own reality. Like you can get on the internet and not have to interact with any of these motherfuckers. But chances are, it's really like, it's no point in going ahead and blocking this. I want you to see me shine or fail.
I'm with you, but then sometimes some people make themselves try to stand out even more. They try to make their career off of getting your attention.
They base it off of like the shock value of it.
And they're going to say whatever they can. At some point, I'm just like, I want to detach from this. Whatever this is, because it's not a friendship, it's not a relationship. You know what? I don't even want it here. And my thing is, you know how many times I didn't want to respond, and I did respond, but I didn't push send.
A lot.
And then I sit with it for like 30 seconds, and I'm like,
am I tripping?
Not even that. I'm like, I'm good now.
I'm good.
I'm gonna just block you now. Because I'm like, what is that? What is that feeding except for the ego?
Facts.
Because I'm gonna shoot back at you. People gonna laugh, but it's like, I'm the cause and you're the effect.
Yeah.
You're only here because I decided to show up today.
And go live and talk about what I talked about.
Because and not even trying to make it like my life is better, but like, what is your existence outside of this moment now?
Yeah. What are you doing that you felt like so comfortable in that 2 seconds to go write a comment?
You're the effect. Like, I'm not gonna call you a hater. You're not even a troll. You're the effect and I'm the cause. I used to pray for times like this. I can rhyme like this. You kidding me right now? What? These are high quality problems. Don't get rid of my problems. Give me high quality problems.
The problems I want more of.
I need more of that. Because if that's the entry fee, give me that. Give me that. I want them high quality problems. Give me those.
You know what? Look at somebody like Kanye West. Kanye West is gonna wake up tomorrow. He's gonna be with his kids or whatever he's gonna do. His workout.
Yeah.
People. You bring that up to some people, like, oh, Kanye's crazy, Kanye.
Yeah.
In the aspect of everything going on in his life, he don't give a fuck what you thinking about, because in his mind, what he's doing, everything he's fighting for is much bigger than your opinion.
Yeah.
So I've had people have had their opinions on no pressure and what we do, and and at first it used to bother me, but I'm like, I don't give a fuck, because I'm helping more people.
Come on.
I'm bringing together people. We connecting dots. We talking the talks that I've been to. There's a handful of platforms that out here that I rock with that are my peoples. But there's also platforms out here that are here to pimp the culture, and they're here to embarrass you and make fun of you. And I've seen both sides of it. And going to that side of the world and seeing that side of the internet.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's the. What's the word you use? It's the not cringe. It's the you said it's like a fetish, like
Humiliation kink.
Humiliation kink, right? And that they not there for your music. They don't care about your art.
None of that.
You know what I'm saying? So if we don't have more places like what you do, what I do, what the homies at In the Woods do, what Luca do at the Finger Poppin' podcast, like everything, like it I just stopped letting it really fucking bother me because the homies have seen it. I've been in here fucking hard.
I get it.
Like,
Look. We all had them moments, bro.
You know?
But we the new TV now.
I look at this shit like
We the new TV. I'm good.
That's crazy.
People literally watch. We talked about conversations where y'all have said y'all have watched my content, and to me, I'm sure there's actors that go through the same conversations are like, man, my favorite episode of your TV show was when you did it, and you said this shit. That was a moment right there. We're creating those moments, and it's on our timing. Like, I talk a lot of shit about Tubi movies, but I also see the most creativity in Tubi movies.
You gotta be creative as fuck.
It be some look. It's some of the movies. Stevie laughing. It's some of the movies.
Wildest shit.
Bro, I seen one. I see one. My favorite Tubi movies is the fucking Bandemic.
It be coming from the underground. That's why.
But see, I also see how major movie companies that would make you feel like they'd never take from them, they all take from them. Because that's where creativity lives. That's what they'll take from you. That's what they'll take from me. The thing they're not prepared for is when our platforms start taking off like theirs, right? Or when I'm looking at it now where it's like there been some Stephen A. videos, right? He's the biggest debate name in sports.
For sure.
There's been some Stephen A. videos talking about Steph Curry that didn't do the video views that my video about Steph Curry, talking about how he was tired of the Not Like Us song, because that conversation wasn't about who's more famous. It was about what conversation is more relevant to my stance in the culture, and who's going to speak honesty without me feeling like, is there a possibility that you may censor some of your stuff because you still got contracts with ESPN? Where can I go where it's unfiltered? With us, is this what it is? You can clown. You can like they get on me. Like even to this day, even with my quality, they still clown my quality. They'll clown when I went from the TLM 103 to the short mics. They was clowning me, and I'm like, if y'all gonna clown me for this shit, I can't get away from it.
They gonna clown you for everything.
Period, though. That's
Bro, like somebody, but once again, that's the entry fee. That's the entry fee.
Just come with it.
I'll take it, bro. Because if on the other end of that means that I'm gonna get to that next level, and it's not a matter of like if it's going to happen. It's just how much of this shit can you withstand, and I think that's something that the memers, the people who are not serious about that, that's what they have over us sometimes as creators. We care so much and we love so much, we wouldn't dare put ourselves out there and do some of the shit they do.
You almost
that's why they do the numbers.
Psych yourself
That's
out.
why they get
You gotta really just go out and just do what the fuck. They really doing it like, fuck it. They like, I'm about to go drop this because I know they want to fuck with it. It's that
That's
dopamine
appealing.
effect.
That's appealing.
And sometimes, I've had to realize, we have our morals with this. There's certain things that we think is not hip hop. Is not. Once you kind of let that go, like I've had so many different artists around me, some of the street artists, you know what I'm saying, and they see me doing something, and I'm like, yeah, I'm about to dance. I'm doing my Michael Jackson thing, and it's like, oh, like we can. I'm like, yeah,
we can do that.
we can do that, and because when I was too cool for that, it wasn't fun.
Yeah.
People see you being yourself when you get up there and you're giving an opinion about something, like the video where you were talking about Lil Yachty and I was like, this nigga Curtis is cooking right now.
But a lot of people feel that way.
Because that shit was making me hot in real life.
Yo, no,
Real life.
You said something earlier.
It's one thing to make some shit because it's gonna do views. It's one thing when you look at it, and I feel myself like I really don't want to watch.
It's one of those things where it's a lot of people thinking the same thing, and you kind of just had like the urgency to actually speak on
I was
it.
thinking. You said
Like,
because
it's been that way though. Like, a lot of people have been like, bro, what the fuck? Why do I keep why do I keep seeing it? And it's not like I hate for this nigga, but it's just like, bro.
Because it's some Twilight Zone shit. It's that shit where you like, I know I'm not, and that's been many times I talked to Stevie. I'm like, nigga, I'm not crazy.
Oh God,
Because you're not crazy. I said, because if either we the only two crazy ones, or everybody else is under hypnosis. That's why I said I believe so much in hypnosis, because I think that's been the success of a lot of people is a hypnosis of this is what I've always known. It gives me the same satisfaction, even if it's not the biggest satisfaction. It's enough, right? It's like you'll never have anything that's. They say about crackheads, like you'll never had the hit that you got from the first one, but it's enough to keep them going and finding cars and finding fucking shit to turn it. It's enough to keep that motivation up.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at that and I'm like, a lot of us are the same thing, and that is either crackheads for dopamine spikes, for clout, for validation, for love, for whatever the six human needs are. What is it? Certainty, uncertainty, significance, love and affection, and then growth and contribution are our 6 human needs. Growth and contribution are the ones that most people lose, and that's the difference between somebody who's addicted to drugs and addicted to this grind. Somebody who's addicted to drugs would say, I want the uncertainty of every time I smoke is gonna be a different high. Like not even like smoke. Like I'm not y'all smoking. I'm like smoking some shit.
Yeah.
Smoking that other shit. I want the uncertainty of what's gonna happen, but I also want the certainty. I want the I want the love that I feel when other people come around and want to do the same thing, or when people come checking for me. Those 3 things can create an addiction. Human needs, but those are primal needs. When you mix together growth or contribution, then it becomes something that becomes an addiction. What we're doing as artists feeds our need for growth, first of all, and our need to contribute because it's more than just us doing it. On top of that, we may feel significant. So that's the primal needs and that's the spiritual needs coming together. When you get those 2 together, it's unstoppable. That's where you get drive from. There's some people right now who got thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of songs in the vault, right? And that shit is because they love growing at something, and they love the significance of feeling like I really do this shit, and also the certainty of knowing when they plug their shit in and they play that music, it's gonna give them that feeling. That breeds an addiction. Any addiction you can think of falls in one of them 3 categories. So when I think about that, I'm like, that's where we are as artists, is that when we find the 3 things, and if it comes with contribution or growth, we're unstoppable. The thing is, and people who, like we're talking about, the folks that we talking shit about, them folks, they found it. Significance, you know what I'm saying, or certainty, and they fuck up when they don't find one of the spiritual needs to latch on to. That's where we win, as long as we know that's what we're going after. So I look at all this shit, and I'm like, bro, this shit, bro, they gonna get their views, they gonna get their shit off, but at some point, folks gonna have nervous fucking breakdowns when they realize they gonna be throwing tantrums when they don't get the same looks you get. Same looks you get.
Keep up or catch up, for real.
But they can't, because they never was here to play the game. They was here to play a game, not the game.
Not the game.
Yeah.
See that, and that's the big difference. You know, and people that have it right now for a couple years or something, rather than have it to take care of a family, you know, for a generation.
Different drive.
You know, it takes like, you know, it gets to a point. I was telling my homie, I was like, you know, shout out to my boy Dominic Berry. You know, he went on his journey through college football, tried to get to the NFL, got picked up, never quite made it all the way. XFL, all this journey for him to be 7-0 heavyweight champ.
Make it make sense.
You know what I'm saying?
That's life. That's life, bro.
And I'm like,
nothing about the journey. Like I had how many? Not to railroad your point, but it's like so many things about this journey. If you spend so much time trying to make it make sense, you're not living in the moment. And it's like we here.
That's facts.
We here. How many times I'm looking up and I'm like, damn, am I neglecting what I should be doing as an artist by doing all of this content? It's like, no, because you do content. That's why we got this album coming here.
Exactly.
That's why I'm having a conversation. But the whole point, even from the beginning, even when it was like, I don't care about getting signed, it was, I need to get a foot in the door. I need to be, I want to be seen. Well, now, what's a better way than doing it on your terms? And that's why I like the way that y'all building this shit, the way that we're building this shit is, I'm going to throw my best shots at it and do it at my own speed, in my own style, in my own vision, my own visual. And by the time these people come around, you're not watering down shit.
Exactly.
You better amplify this because it's already working.
I think we be having like the conversation a lot too. Like, just enjoy these moments, bro. Like, because I mean, we make so much music and we be in so much motion. It's like when these moments pass, we gonna be looking back like, damn, remember we was in the garage like, how the fuck we gonna do this,
You
bro?
gonna miss this.
Yeah.
How we gonna do
You gonna
this,
miss
bro?
this. You gonna miss it.
Like,
Just said
we
that.
literally be talking about this.
Because
Like,
when you in your studio, you in because it's gonna happen. When y'all in y'all
shit.
and y'all in your multi-million-dollar studio
shit,
and shit is all sterile. You got shit
Bro.
mounted. You gonna remember like, damn, but these were the best of times.
yeah,
And I
was
and
hungry
I'm-
for it.
And to me, that's why I don't pay so much attention to even the praise or the hate. Because I heard Gary Vee say that. He said, you pay attention to the praise, it makes you start to value it more because of the hate.
you become complacent.
And now you what complacent, or you go searching for that validation. My thing is like, I ain't shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Until and when I have my moments where like I am the shit,
yeah,
I ain't shit again.
yeah.
Because there's always somewhere else I'm trying to get to.
I did that
Always
yesterday.
know that
We're done.
goes
We're
for
done with
yourself.
that.
Yeah.
I did
That's
that
what make
yesterday.
you great.
We're done with that. Like, I have to have that balance because there's sometimes where I'm like, I ain't shit, and I'm saying it to humble myself. And there's the time I'm like, I ain't shit, and I really feel like I ain't shit. But I need to have that, be connected to that, because it's almost to the point where it's like, I don't ever want to be 1,000% healed. And it all sounds crazy.
Yeah.
I never want to be 1,000% healed,
When you always working on yourself, you become like
bro.
something greater every time.
And people like to see your flaws.
Facts.
Sometimes
Hip-hop
when I-
especially.
and hip hop
Facts.
especially. I need to. That's why when and labels know that. So we're gonna get a little Day from the trenches, and he's gonna talk about that, and we're gonna market that. But even just the fact that I can see Curtis King, and maybe you're passionate about something. This topic today.
Yeah.
You're growing up like you see the difference, different type of passion. You're frustrated today. This stream, you're feeling like that, and people get and that's why too, like people. Instead of keeping all those songs in the vault, with what you were just saying, release that, because people get to go back and see it, and then the people that been there get to see the progression. I feel like people latch on to no. I remember when it was like this, when it was this views, and
It's the journey, bro.
Yeah,
It's the journey.
you gotta enjoy that.
As much as we are aiming for that end result, it really is the journey. Like, that's the most enjoyable part. Matter of fact, even when we talk about in pursuit of being going for the bread, I saw a Stanford study that said after $75,000, your happiness doesn't change significantly.
yeah,
$75,000 is the number. Why? Because they said the biggest jump in your happiness that money is attached to is when you go from poverty to like 40, 50,000.
yeah,
Because now you're going from I can't pay for the bare essentials consistently to now I have everything I need in terms of my essentials. Then when you make that jump to 75,000, you have more than most people, human beings need, right? Even when you look at what the 1 percentile represents in different states, I think 1 percentile in Texas is $400,000 a year. We think that shit is multi-millions. No.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's even in California, it's not as crazy what we think. So when I saw that vision of that, I was like, it makes it more reachable, it makes it more attainable. But then I realized, I'm like, we have the opportunity to now do this shit. That's why, like, I love when Stevie said this shit is a renaissance. We have the opportunity now to paint this however you want to paint this. And I feel like now we're at a point where whatever colors we want to use, we get to use it. But I think sometimes we think our setups are our limitations, when it's like, dog, instead of what I have to do, like, I have to make this content. I have to, it's like, no, we get to do it.
Yeah.
We get to be like, I sit behind the camera and I'm like, nigga, I'm Spike Lee today. Not I don't gotta wait till I meet Spike Lee.
No, I'm doing it right now.
Today,
Yeah.
I'm Kurt Angle. You ever see that name pop up? That's me.
Yeah.
That's me. I'm Kurt Angle. Anytime you see that shit in the credits, I'm Kurt Angle.
Okay.
And I do that purposely so that when I get in that mode, it's like, okay, I get to make this whatever I want it to be. But I think a lot of times is like, this is going to sound crazy. This is going to sound so crazy, I promise you. A month ago, I had to remind myself I'm not signed. Hear me out. I'm going to break this down. A month ago, I had to remind myself I'm not signed.
You're not signed.
Okay? And what I mean by that is, it's almost like I didn't recognize the freedom I really had. I was taking advantage of my things independently. I know I'm independent. I know that at heart. But there's a part of me that still was in this structure in my brain that was established by somebody else's model. Whether it was the industry model, whether it was my model when I was with Black Cloud, whatever model it was, I was still like, no, I can't do this because I got to wait for this I gotta wait for this. I gotta wait for this. But ironically, it was when I saw Joe Budden say something about Reason when he left TDE. He was like, all right, nigga, you got off the contract. He said, but don't do what these other niggas do. They get off the label and they put a shit ton of music out and then they just stop. Because they finally got what they wanted was the freedom. And I was like, oh shit. I had the freedom and I wasn't even using it the way I could have been using it. Don't believe me, I was taking advantage of it, but it was like I was still operating like I was in a box.
Like you're on, because you had this way that
certain content out it's got to look a certain way. I got to make sure that my numbers are. And it's like, wait a minute, who programmed me like that?
And Curtis, let me tell you something, my nigga. Last year, I dropped. Just because of that, I got tired of people. Oh no, you have to do it like this, and everyone's telling me I have to do things a certain way. I'm like, who the fuck told you that? And who the fuck says so? So I dropped.
You can't talk like that because you shake the matrix up. You can't do that because niggas start looking at you like you're not part of the program.
So crazy. Like and so you know what?
You can't do that.
I dropped 8 albums. You feel me? I dropped 8 albums. What did we drop? Like eight or 9 albums.
Yeah.
Is 8 or 9 EPs, 45 music videos. I dropped a music video every day for 1 week. 7 music videos back to back. You're not supposed to do that because you have to promote. You have to do. I'm like, I don't have to do.
Says who?
Says who? I'm doing this because I can, because I love music.
Bro.
And can't know I'm doing this to show people that there is no system. There's no formula.
I ain't gonna lie, so niggas around that time
said that, like, cause
calling this nigga like he crazy, bro. They was calling they calling like, bro. What's CM, bro?
The shit is always crazy until somebody does it successfully.
Yeah, and then we start seeing other motherfuckers do it
quietly though. They'll never come back and tell you like, hey, bro, you inspired me, bro. They're not gonna do that.
Never.
They're gonna do the shit. And then they gonna get, bro. I'll tell you this.
And I see it.
Look, Stevie can attest to this shit, bro. Look. Hold on. This is another reason why I had now made it's not quiet no more. I made a quiet commitment. Fuck these bigger platforms, because I know I'm gonna get the invitations. I know it's about to come, especially because of all of this, all of the content and all of the motion. No, fuck the bigger, the ones with the major names, with the sparkly shit. I don't want no parts. Unless I could talk about what I want to talk about on those. I know that sounds arrogant, but I need to do that. I have to do that. I gotta, even if it means I gotta go years without getting any of those coverages, I'm fine with that. My thing is this: I need to make sure that I go to the places where the conversations are rich. I don't give a shit about your cameras. The conversations. Are we gonna talk about something that's gonna move people to action? Not that's gonna do numbers. I can do numbers at home. What are we talking about? I can finally say that now. I can do numbers at home. What are we talking about?
Facts.
Even the people that I want to interview, like, it's a bunch of rappers that folks like, man, can you connect me to this? And I was reaching out to some of these things. I still get no's. And I'm not saying like I owed anything, but I'm like, you know me, you see me. You know what work I put in. I still get no's like I'm a nobody. You know what? Cool. I needed to talk to the people that I really want to talk to. For instance, Storm the Barge.
Yep.
I was genuinely intrigued by her story because I had started following her page after the pandemic, and I was like first of all, her energy was different, and it was the first time I paid attention to a dancer and like the facial expressions, and I really saw it from a different perspective. And her platform started to grow. I saw when she got the Super Bowl opportunity. I saw when she got her Target sponsorships. I was like, I want to know what's going on in Sis' mind. I'm really intrigued by that. Not just by the rapper that got a bunch of views and all of that stuff, but once again, I still thought I was signed. These are in my mind. These are the people that you're supposed to talk to if you want to grow your platform. This is the person that you're doing. No. We gonna talk to whoever the hell we want to talk to. Matter of fact, I got a gentleman that I'm gonna be interviewing who I've been on this huge content campaign about trying to make sure that we figure out a way to separate the charts for artists so that a Jay-Z and an Ice Spice are not on the same charts.
Yes. Or
right?
I should have said hip hop and R&B. Two separate genres.
They put us in the same. So I met a gentleman. Who he actually has done the footwork for years.
Okay.
He's coming on the channel to get interviewed, but he's watching the thing that he worked so hard for, that he took to the Grammys and all of this, now be railroaded, and other people with bigger names are now taking credit for the momentum. Right? And I'm not saying his name purposely, because I want to make sure that when we had a conversation, the full focus is on him.
Yeah.
And I said, bro, you don't understand. That's my story. once again, I keep meeting these folks that are like, no, they're not the names that every other platform wants to go to, but that's how they do me.
Yeah.
That's how they do me. Like I want to say earlier, Stevie can attest to this. I got invited to a platform that don't usually give me no invitation. Big ass platform, right? And I'm like, I'm finna go raise hell, Stevie. I said it to him too. I was like, I'm finna go all this streaming talk. I'm finna go times 10, and I'm finna give him a crazy ass verse. And this nigga canceled on me the day before, and I said it to Stevie, and we started laughing. The next day, this person brings on a guest, and they're talking about why they removed their music from streaming. But it was a safer conversation than Curtis King. Then I realized, why am I still walking around like I'm signed? Why am I going to them to have an interview? I got 290,000 subscribers. What am I going them for?
Fuck you need anybody for at this point.
No, I won't say that, because I need y'all.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
I need y'all.
Absolutely.
No,
There's
facts.
still people that you've affected that look up.
Bro,
no, absolutely.
Like even like, but because my thing is this, like, if I'm just doing this on my platform, then it looks like I'm selfish. It looks like, oh, she just focused on himself. It looks narcissistic. But if I can get on these other platforms and have rich conversations,
absolutely.
To me, the value is like, okay, no matter where he goes, it's gonna be a back and forth dialogue. It's not gonna be a whole speech and shit. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, nah, y'all are more valuable to me. So when I tell you, like, I'm looking on the timeline, I'm like, no, I recognize that this is more valuable than the look with 500,000, 700,000 views. Most of that shit is gonna bring annoying ass niggas who don't like one point I made.
And don't care about you.
Don't care about the music. They're not here to check out no music.
And
but somebody will watch this and say, I'm about to go buy his whole catalog.
There you go.
Because he got to get to know the human being behind all of this shit.
And I was telling you about that experience at that other platform. Now I'm like, never again. And it's my duty to let artists because they saw me up there. They're like, yo, how do I go up there? I'm like, you don't want to go up there.
Yeah, you had to go through that so that you could tell that story. Yeah.
And some of them still went, and it was 10 times worse than what I experienced. And I'm like, it's not funny, but I laugh because I get that, bro. I get that shit, bro. And I'm like, bro, I don't fuck the clout. Like, we have to have some type of standard or some type of bottom line. What you talked about, the Lil Yachty playing the Goodness Gracious, that sampled song.
Yeah. Disrespecting the artist, by the way.
That's it, and I liked everything you said about it because I felt the same way. I'm like, yo, he didn't say you guys can't drop it. He just said, maybe not talk about.
Clean it up. All he asks is for a clean version of the song.
That's it. So, because I got kids, I got what you
he
guys
gave him that option after they leaked it, and they leaked it and doubled down on it. On a major podcast.
And people
Andrew
were in
Schultz.
the comments like, it's Drake, and I'm like, whoa. That doesn't mean I have to sell my soul.
Because y'all don't got no standards, don't mean I got to leave mine.
Bro, you're tripping.
Yeah.
You're tripping.
But see, guess what? That's why we get to win in this era in a way we've never. If as long as we can stay undistracted by their bullshit, we're going to win in a way that they could never experience. Because when somebody experiences a real experience, when somebody tastes a real handmade food or the right way, you'll never be the same.
Yep.
I don't care how numb and how hypnotized people are going to be. That ain't changed. That's why Not Like Us is having the moment that it's having right now.
Yeah.
That's a cultural moment. That's something you can't teach some people.
Yeah.
More to what you said, too, a lot of motherfuckers are hungry, bro, and fast food is not cutting it
no more. And fast food didn't went up in price.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So now I got to grow my own shit.
For the price of McDonald's right now, I could go Chili's 2 for $25.
Or I can go, you know what I'm saying? Or I can get some produce.
I could go or you could go
get some
fruits.
fruits.
More spots
Yeah, come on,
and it's popping up. You know what I'm saying? Like the fast food is, like you said, the fast food's not. There's so much more out there, and if you gotta pay for the fast food, you might as well pay for this shit because this shit come with money.
We haven't had like a generational artist, like, and I say generational, like. We all remember the time when fucking Kendrick dropped and they gave him the torch. You feel me? Right? So I spin it back to what Tyler's doing right now. And Tyler's finally having this moment. He was the awkward kid that just fucking blew up, and now he's superstardom.
Right.
And now we're seeing another artist. I want to give Tizo Touchdown his flowers because you see somebody so like out of the box that like you can tell they're being so authentic to themselves.
Right.
People are gravitating towards it.
Right.
And it's like I feel that way. And it's like let me go and tap into this. Like even though I don't, you feel me? This is not the type of music I make.
Right.
But let me go dive into this. And now I want to open my mindset to this.
But you know what?
It's like a sell.
But you know what the double thing about a Tizo? What you're saying is that Tizo is Tizo, and I want to give him his utmost respect and props because I respect everything that he does. But a Tizo story is nothing unique. In that there are artists that we're seeing right now that are speaking truth to their life. For instance, I seen this nigga was a gas station attendant.
Yeah.
Numbers going crazy on Instagram because he rapping about his life.
Yeah. The whole thing with the same spots he grew up in, and that's what kind of made me gravitate towards him. Like, I seen the realism of, like, story, and he's so different to where it was like, okay, I see this dude with a bunch of fucking nails in his head rapping in front of a garage. You feel me? He's saying like some crazy shit in a crazy way, and I'm like, what the fuck? It feels almost meme-ish, but then like I dive deeper. Another person like that is Doja Cat.
But see, this is what I'm saying. Both of those examples are the name brand version of a microcosm, a smaller movement that's already underway. There's folks right now who are household names on TikTok. I don't know none of their names. Never seen them in shows. They probably never did a show. And they're not even the meme artists. They're talented artists. But what I'm saying is that we have reach and leverage that we've never had before. And today, on this day, whatever date it is, this is the easiest it's ever going to be.
Real shit.
Because think about how complicated shit got some 10 years ago. 10 years ago, it wasn't this complicated.
No.
20 years ago, it wasn't this complicated.
No.
Now shit is like you're expected to do content. You're expected to have a podcast. You're expected to be on a podcast. You're expected to have like
merchandise.
Bro,
oversimplified.
I'll tell you this. When I heard LL Cool J say I had to relearn how to rap in order to make sure that I did this shit the right way recently.
Was that
LL Cool J said on the interview, I had to relearn how to rap so that I didn't take my ego into this next album. I said, who the fuck do I think I am? It's one of the GOATs. It's one of the GOATs in this game. No matter how anybody thinks about it, no matter how you feel, that's one of the. He said I had to he said I had to remove my ego and recognize that this game has evolved and that rappers, even in my lane, have evolved and are rapping a different way. Yeah. For him to be in his status and say, I'm going to pause and be the student again. To me, that represents an evolution we didn't see beforehand, because there's a time and period where I feel like even from like a Joe Budden, like a Gilly the Kid, like they went to podcasts and that was the end. I got my 10 million. I'm out of here. I'm good. We're gonna be the first version that's like, fuck you mean stop making music.
Yeah. What? I'm on album number 75.
But you get millions of views. You get millions of views on your podcast. Yeah, that's my side gig.
I just have fun doing it.
That's cool. But I came here to make music.
Yeah. even if the podcast pay me more.
Yeah. No. But look,
I'm gonna have crazier beats and more.
You feel me? That's fueling what I really want to do.
Like,
but you know what?
I'm never tripping.
But you know what I'm looking? You know what I'm starting to look at it now? A crazy angle. I'm starting to look at it now, and I watched this Vince Staples interview, and he said he noticed one day that his podcast interviews got more views than his music videos.
Because he's a funny, entertaining motherfucker.
But also he noticed that his voice is different.
Yes.
So he started changing the inflections in his music because to kind of mimic how he sounds on the podcast. Mm-hmm. So now when you listen to his newer albums, they sound like the voice he's using in his podcast. I've been doing this shit on YouTube for years. Now, there's two sides of this shit. Because of the route that I went, I cleaned my voice up too much. Yeah. And it started fucking up the music. That's why I'm thank God I got with somebody like Amon Amari, because he was able to tell me, like, he was like, all right, nigga, before he's talking with raspy voice, all right, nigga, before we work on anything, I'm gonna just tell you like this. Ain't gonna be none of that Kurt Franklin shit in here. I said, what you mean? He said, C-U-R-T Franklin. He said, you rap like a preacher, nigga. He said, none of that here. He said, you gonna do that. He started vocal producing me. Yeah. Every song, it was songs that I would write verses, and I'm like, this shit hard. He like, that ain't it. I'm like, but I wrote 3 verses. He like, none of them it. He said, you did some shit here, do the whole thing like this. and I listened to them, and line by line, I'm 20 years deep into this. I think I'm pretty damn good at what I do. But I was humble enough to be like, all right, you know what? I need to relearn a lot of these things and really take it from a different perspective. And bro, the music I have now, you ain't gonna believe it, bro. I'm gonna show you some. You ain't gonna believe.
Oh yeah, we go.
You ain't gonna
drop an exclusive.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna put it in here. Not on the camera, but I'm gonna show you. You wouldn't believe because I don't fucking believe it. And it's
Y'all ain't getting no exclusive.
look, and
This King album right now.
come on,
Y'all ain't getting no exclusive.
man. Yeah. We got the listening party on Saturday, and I definitely want to invite y'all out there too. But
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it took that, and I had to like humble myself and recognize that there's areas that nobody else was really pushing me for. Like I was a part of situations where either they didn't have the information, or some niggas just don't want you to get better.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell him this.
Some niggas that
Let me look around this mic.
some niggas really do that.
Can somebody relate to that? What they
I can relate to it.
Yeah.
You know how now I look. You know how toxic the word is. Oh, that shit cool.
Yeah.
How toxic that is to me because I'm like,
That
you don't
shit
want to
cool
see.
is
Like
like
you might
what-
not want to see me win.
Give me a real like critique, like, oh, I think you feel me, like you need to say this a little bit higher right
So,
here. Like
what
we
you
always
said-
trying to do that, like throw it back to each other, like
That part and what you said earlier about like how that person told you to think about your quality in your video and you was like, man, fuck him. And then you look back on it, you was like, damn, he actually has some truth. I now lean into that. People look at me for whatever reason before I started really doing the other kind of content. They thought like maybe I was fragile and I couldn't take real. They don't understand. Everybody around me is an asshole, including me. Because I don't like to be lied to. I don't wasting time.
Don't waste my time.
Yeah.
And you know what? I relate to everything you just said about
that's real shit.
creating that new album.
Yeah.
We just dropped this album and we completely
Congrats,
tried
by the way,
to not-
yeah.
Thank you. And we tried to make not a hip hop album. You know, it's like the homies call it a ghetto Tame Impala album. You know what I'm saying? And it's like real funky and groovy, and we're like singing and going into that. I've always like it just the same way you feel like, you know, you get to this point where you just crazy with your pen and can't no one tell me I'm not good. Nigga, like this, everything I do good.
Can you imagine? Mon Amari told me, he said, he put his hand on the table, he said, nigga rap black.
And you're like,
What do you mean?
I did
bro?
just that. I looked in the camera because we on Zoom.
mean?
He said, nigga rap black. I said, what do you think I've been doing? But then he told me, you're not in the pocket. I'm rapping on beat. I know what I'm doing. I'm not been in 20 years. He's like, no, that's that pocket. Get in this pocket. I need you to slide like it's like a chicken off the side of a bone. Like I need you to be. He's like, this is the beat. He said, right now you on top of it. You doing the Wiz Khalifa. He said, this is the Wiz Khalifa shit, which he's known for and he's good at what he do. But he said, I need you to be gliding behind this shit. I need you to follow the beat. Change the way I wrote, because then it's like, well, I can't do that if I'm writing all these words. I got to cut down the amount of words that I'm using, the amount of syllables I'm using.
I heard to what you did, going back to what the song you played, AI.
Yeah.
On that, what I kept repeating it, that you adding that, just sauced everything up.
You know what's funny about that song? Go back and listen to that song. Nobody knows. It's an exclusive. Nobody knows. Listen to the first verse. That's Curtis King's teachings. The second verse is when I started working with him on. It's literally day and night difference. I think I was so... Here's my thing, because I know I look so different from what people expect when they think of a West Coast artist, especially the generations that came before us. I know that what I sound like may not sound like the traditional West Coast artist, but my story is relevant. I'm relevant.
Yeah.
It's still a West Coast story. There's still a lot of shit that has gone on in my process that's like, you lived here, Curtis? You was here? Yeah, nigga, I was here. Half my name is Curtis King. It's the product of Curtis Middle School and King Drew Medical Center.
That's crazy.
And people think it's like, oh, just some funny shit you made up or whatever. And it's like, no, all of these stories are relevant. But
that's dope.
But I used to push that to the side because I felt like, oh, that doesn't fit the. Once again, it's that sign shit. It doesn't fit the everybody. So then my pride became, fuck that. I'm gonna be so different.
Yeah.
But then different is an identity, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's yours.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? To the point where I had the flat top. I was Baby Sinbad, but that shit was literally to stand out. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's me. It's a lot of me in it.
Yeah.
But that's not the full story, because I'm still showing you the most positive things about my personality, the nostalgic things, and that's only one side of it. And working with him on, he told me, he said, nigga, I know there's some shit that make you mad.
Yeah.
He said, if you don't share it, I'm going to make you mad.
Even on that verse.
That's what he did.
Even on that verse.
Yeah.
On that verse, you were talking that shit.
Yeah.
On that exclusive joint, you know what I'm saying? With a couple other killers on that motherfucker. Y'all hear so
man, no, yeah.
you know, I don't want to give away.
Yeah.
Come on,
You know
man.
what I'm saying? And you know, no, that's all facts. I appreciate you sharing that with us. And you know, we have this segment called No Pressure Roulette.
Okay.
And it's kind of like Drink Champs, where we ask you, for instance, Kendrick or Drake, right?
You better get into it, man.
Tell us
Come on.
why. And if you know what I'm saying?
You already know what. Hey, look.
Let me-
Hold
let
on.
me
Where that
tell you-
button at?
Y'all better not ask no Kendrick versus Drake.
No, we got some
I think we know the answer to that one by now.
the answers for sure.
We gonna get into some ones though. You feel me?
Please
'Cause you a
do.
real
Looking
hip hop
forward.
head.
I'm looking forward to it. But I say, you know, it's a scarier question. What would I say if Bob Marley said, "I don't know"?
But that's the answer that you need, though.
And that's what I'm saying. No, I say scary in a way that it's
scary,
like
right.
we're referencing them, but they never had to live in this time period.
Right, they never had to live in this time period.
So I wonder if the decisions we're making right now are them looking at us like, what's the next move?
Right. Right.
So that, bruh.
That makes you look.
Because you said no. Stevie said this. He go ahead.
Puts you in a position to determine who you are.
That's what you break.
And then when you find out who you are, then you make a decision of you.
It's the aggressive separation from the herd. You said. I think we were talking about it. He said, man, what happens if you meet one of your heroes and you find out that nigga's a bitch? Right. How do you process that? And what do you now take things, or when you, not even a bitch. What if you notice that he's scared? One of my favorite rappers of all time is 3 Stacks. I can see fear. My favorite rapper is scared. My favorite rapper is scared.
I know, he's so brilliant,
He's
bro.
terrified.
He's so brilliant, bro. It's crazy.
And that's why he won't ever say nothing else, because we call him brilliant for doing nothing new.
Right.
He don't want to ruin that. It's like Jordan with that last shot.
Right.
He's like, I don't want to mess that up.
I'm gonna just pass it, bro.
No, that's Jordan. That's Jordan making that last shot and never coming back as a wizard.
Right.
I ain't gonna ruin that.
Yeah, I'm not.
I ain't gonna ruin that.
Yeah.
I might not be able to do that again. So.
Yeah, I ain't really built like that no more. But y'all ain't gonna ever know.
That's why he dropped one verse every 2 years. It was like, oh shit, this nigga still got it. It's like, y'all don't know I've been writing this verse for 2 years.
I've been trying to
Me and
figure
his-
this shit out.
Me and this flute been trying to figure this shit out.
You know, so y'all already know the drill, what time it is, you feel me? It's no pressure roulette time, you know what I'm saying? So, you know,
Yeah.
we're going to throw out some artist names and we want you to pick. You know, if you can't pick, you know what I'm saying? Normally we'll be drinking, but we, you know. You know,
the Curtis
we
King version.
got the
All right,
Curtis King
cool.
version, you know what I'm saying?
I'm about to answer all of these. What we talking about?
You know, and yeah, you just kind of break down why you picked
yeah.
them over the other person.
Okay.
So getting it started off, Kendrick or Drake? No, I'm just playing.
Let me tell you something about that.
You know what I'm saying? No, we're gonna take it back because I want to know, because you know, a lot of people, you know, we see a lot more of your artistry and rapping nowadays, but people get it. I don't know if people get it fucked up or not. Curtis King is a wizard with the motherfucking beats. You feel me? And you know, you feel me? I feel like nowadays I see more of your rapping content rather.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I've detached myself. When you get with a producer like Iman, I'm like I'm not producing shit no more.
It feel good to just kind of like, oh yeah, let me.
It felt good. I felt liberated. You know what's crazy? I only made beats because me and my homie who started rapping together. We had a group called Soldier Camp, spelled with a J. And we could not afford beats, and we stumbled on a game called MTV Generator at an electronic boutique. We supposed to go buy NBA 2K3 with Allen Iverson on the cover.
Yep.
It was either Allen Iverson on the cover with the Dreamcast, or it was this game. And we spent the money on that game, and the homie was like, I tried to use that shit. I don't know, that shit confusing. And that was started my career. It was a PlayStation game. So I got into production only because I was better with computers, not because I was passionate about production. But it literally changed the trajectory of my career and my life as an artist. But I never gave like the deep diving and studying that I did. I did deep diving and studying as a producer, but not what I did as a rapper early on, as a songwriter, I should say. And I just, as a producer, like I never learned music theory. I did enough I knew how to click shit.
Yeah, that makes it sound.
But it opened up the doors. It opened up the doors, and I just followed. But it was never something where I didn't want to become a producer. I didn't.
Okay.
And that got my first placement. So
And
it's
got-
like, well, shit, that shit making money. I guess I'm gonna keep going.
So,
I know it's cliche as fuck, but I want to know about how that you feel me? Like, how did you connect with Absol? Because that nigga's is so nice. Like, you feel me? I just while we got you here, that's always been like a curiosity of mine. And
Man, just being in Carson, being
out there in the city.
Just as even then, like I still, as much as you see me at home and kind of focus in my own world, that was the first version of it. When I was in Carson, I would go work at Quiznos, and I'd come home and work on music. I didn't really have a lot of. I had like my peers that, like my guy John, who I started Curtis King with. He's the one I went to King Drew. That's how we came with Curtis King at first. It was a group. It was a producing group. Okay. But I still wanted to rap. I always wanted to rap, but the producing always took off, and I couldn't ignore where it was taking me. But I always wanted to rap. I never wanted to produce, but it opened up doors. But Absol, once again, was a product of me producing for an artist in the area at the time. His name was Grim. And I found him on MySpace, and I was just looking for. I was like, man, I need to level up. I need to work with rappers that are gonna make me step up my shit as a producer and a rapper. And I found this dude who had like a super deep voice, kind of had like an I-20 deep voice from Atlanta, but he was on some like lyricism shit, and he's from the West Coast, so we love West Coast music to go along with it. I was like, I gotta produce for him. He introduced me. He was like, bro, you ever heard of this dude named Absol? Absol wasn't even with TDE. He was with a label called Street Beat Entertainment. And I was recording on my grandma patio, and he was like, I'm going to have Absol come over here to be a feature on our project, because I was producing for him. Absol came over, and I had a beat and a hook, and Grim had his verse, and Ab just came in there. He wasn't saying a whole lot of words. He kind of sat there on one of my grandmother's couches and just kind of like sat down. He was like, oh, play the beat. And I played the beat. And he was just behind the shades like that.
hey, what the fuck?
And mind you, I had never seen nobody ever write lyrics in their head, so I didn't know that's what was going on. I thought he wasn't fucking with the beat, because I still was a younger producer. I was like, it's like some of my first beats on FL. Yeah. And like, it's funny shit. I text the homie Grim like, hey, you think he fucking with this beat? This nigga text me back, watch. I'm like, no, like no. He said, watch. And this nigga sit like this. He said, no.
we good.
He said, yeah, we good. I said, good for what? This nigga stood up at the booth, held conversation with me. Nigga, I can't remember. I'm so bad now. I go upstairs and forget why I went upstairs. Looking for my charger, forgot what the fuck I went upstairs. Yeah. This nigga gets up. So can you take me to the beginning of the beat? That shit would have made me forget the first 4 bars. Yeah. He having conversations. He like, go to the first beat and then also like just have a little drop there. And this nigga proceeds to rap like a young Reasonable Doubt Jay-Z. I had never seen no shit like this in my life. And I'm like, I'm trying not to get all, I'm gonna get all giddy in this shit. Ain't nobody rapped on my beat like this before.
And you hear nigga shit.
Like I got a young Jay-Z on my, I got a young Jay-Z on my shit right now. What do you mean? Hey. And so he getting off and he's like, he's wanting not to punch. He refuses to punch. And so he delivers a verse and I'm like, yeah, that shit was good. He was like, nah, that's not the one. Oh, so you remember it so much you gonna do this shit again? He starts doing the shit and he starts editing the verse along the way. I had never seen no shit like this. He's editing the verse and he's like, no, I'm gonna say it this way. Like, where are you drawing from first?
Yeah, like, where are you getting where'd you get these 16s? Where'd the 16s go?
And how are you erasing shit in your brain? If I don't see it, it don't exist.
You're doing what we're doing on the phone in your head.
You know, they told me in the car and I had a crazy 4 bars and I was like, I can't wait to get home and write that shit down. Nigga, I don't know nothing about that when I get home.
Yeah.
Home just has a way of erasing it. But he did that shit and I saw it and I said, man, you know, it would be dope to work with you. And I promise you, like, he was coming with ideas. This is at the time when, like, niggas was taking like rap acapellas and putting them on the choruses, and so there was like he's a big Jay-Z fan, so he had me taking Jay-Z acapellas I could find, and I would just put them over the hook of the beat, and I just keep producing more of that shit. And I had more shit for him. Like I would go to Quiznos, and I'll be writing on the napkins. Mind you, at that time I was working with Daylight, who at that time I don't even think they knew each other, but I'm writing down ideas on the napkin. Like, okay, I'm gonna do this when I get home. Produce the beat. He'd come over and record, and then I'll never forget when he finally got signed to TDE. First thing he told me was he wanted to stop by. And he's like, man, just for all the love, for just recording the music, and like I built his first MySpace page. I was still the same Curtis King that I am today. Like anybody, somebody I work with, like if I can help you on any capacity, I'm going to do it. I'm gonna give you a rose. I'm gonna do all that shit. I don't care how uncomfortable niggas get. I'm gonna make sure that I'm that person. I've always been that. Built his first MySpace page. I had the fucking, the Matrix shit and all that shit coming down and all that shit. Had it looking right. I had designed it from scratch. And he said, man, for all that shit you did, he said, make me a CD full of beats, and I'm going to float it around CDE. And the first placement I got over there was him rapping with Kendrick on a song called Watch Your Lady. He was on that CD. The first beat that Schoolboy Q rapped over to audition, pretty much, for TDE, was over one of them terrible beats I had on there with gunshots and 808s. But that's on the same CD. So, like, him doing that was literally like my invitation into anybody knowing who I was.
Yeah.
That led to me getting my placement with Glasses in Mac 10, and like so that, and I did that shit for free.
Dope.
Did that shit for free. It wasn't no money. It was just I need to get my name out there. I worry about how to leverage and figure this shit out from everything else. I'll figure out all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Even before content creation was something, I was like, I'll figure out how to make this make sense. But yeah, bro, that's how that happened. Was just literally connecting with somebody local. That connected with somebody local, and then he became global.
And there you go. And you see how that shit works.
See how that shit work?
You feel me?
Come on, man. That shit fucking crazy, bro.
And starting the first round of no pressure roulette. You know what I'm saying? Since we talking about Av and Daylight TDE, let's start with labels. I was gonna go on producer. Let's start with labels. TDE or Young Money.
TDE.
Come on, man.
TDE.
Let's talk.
I think that there's a lot of things that Cash Money presented that created new blueprints for what could be done. Right? I think what Baby did was something that was inspirational because he did things at a time where it was non-existent. Like the deal he got with Universal and the vision he had. He said he was out there on the block and he saw these cars passing by and he was like, yeah, that car, I'm gonna have that car, I'm gonna have that car, I'm gonna have that car. I love that. But when it comes to music that I can relate to, of course it's gonna be artists that are all West Coast artists that are telling a story that are as vivid as the streets that I can go to, that I've been to, that I've lived in, and I've seen some of these situations go out. Even like I listen to certain Schoolboy Q songs, and I'm like, bro, you sound like an avatar of somebody else that that I came up knowing and know their story. So I'm looking at it, and I'm like, TDE just made music that made me feel something at a time where a lot of people weren't necessarily going for that. That just wasn't their focus.
Yeah.
Their focus was the numbers. Their focus was the charts. Their focus was all that other shit. And that's why it's an easy answer for me.
One more, wait, hold on before you go, because one more with TDE.
Yeah.
TDE or Death Row?
Death Row, because there's no TDE without Death Row.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, respect it. I mean, I think the catalog, you can make an argument for either side, but I do feel like Death Row. Come on now, like this.
Yeah,
yeah. Maybe that's that's elder bias, kind of like how Michael Jordan versus LeBron type of situation. You cannot deny what TDE has done and their impact, especially on this era. But I'm still old enough. I was outside. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember the domino. Even being in middle school, I remember the domino effect of Death Row, and they did it without the internet.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah, that part. Yeah. Go ahead. That was a good one. I had that. I was like,
no, easy.
Yeah,
easy.
For sure.
I got one for you.
You got me nervous. I thought you was gonna say Daylight versus Absol. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
I'm gonna go with Big L
Uh-huh.
or Rakim.
I'm gonna do the same thing. Like Big L is an evolution of a Rakim. He's an evolution of styles in a Rakim. But I think that he would, if he was still here, would be like Rakim was the blueprint. That's the blueprint of that. That's gonna be my answer. Especially if it's like older versus younger.
Yeah.
Because I know how much. Like, Andre makes more sense to me when I think about who his influences are. When he talks about Q-Tip, it makes so much more sense. So if you ask me, Q-Tip are 3 Stacks, I personally like 3 Stacks more. Yeah. But I gotta give it to Q. This is an easy answer. For me, it's an easy answer because it's like there is no that
It's
without
evolution.
This. Yeah. Whatever I see and I like in him is because he saw something and liked something in him.
Facts.
So I give it to Rock. But Rakim also too to this day. He's, Big L didn't have the opportunity, obviously, because his life was cut short. But I heard Rakim last week on some new shit.
Slide it.
Do what he like.
I just love like seeing them niggas like really get in their bag, especially like I seen Ghostface. Ghostface just did some shit with Kanye, like his new album.
Yeah,
especially that shit's kind of hot.
I'll throw another one at you. E40. E40 don't give the props he deserves.
Yeah.
E40
is a legend.
E40 is 56.
To that.
56.
That's crazy.
To what you just said.
And still be sounding good on record.
Sliding. Oh yeah, we
40 or Too Short.
E40 for me. That's easy. Yeah. I love Too Short is just like the charisma, the stories, and what he does. I love Too Short for being Too Short. One of my favorite songs from him was Marry to the Gang. I love it. But for me, E40 from a work ethic standpoint, from the way that he colors his lyrics, from the slanguage, from like I love artists that if I was from their area and I left for years, they make me miss home. That's my new barometer, my new thing. It's like if I listen to you and you make me miss home, those are my favorite artists.
Yeah,
I can respect that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like so I can imagine somebody who grew up in the 90s and they hear Illmatic and immediately they get memories of being in this borough or taking these subways or whatever in New York. Like I that's the music I love.
Yeah,
it's the shit that's authentically regional.
Absolutely,
it can't help but be anything that it is. That's why to this day, Keek the Sneak still one of my favorite rap voices of all time.
I got one for you. DJ Quick or Dr. Dre?
For me personally, DJ Quick.
Yeah.
DJ Quick.
Why you say that?
Sonically, I like the way he leaned into funk more. I think that Dre sampled a lot of funk. I think that sonically he created he created a larger than life cinematic experience. But to me, it's like going to see a Steven Spielberg movie versus going to watch a John Singleton or a Spike Lee movie for me. Like Dre has the sound that's like, yo, that shit is elite cinematic. You cannot deny what that is. It's what it's become. That hasn't always been like that, but it's what it's become, right? Yeah. But for Quick has always had like it'll be one or two effects. And immediately I'm like, I don't know what this is gonna be. I know this is fitting. You know what I mean? Like you know what I'm saying? Like it'll be that one. Crazy. I love the fact that no matter where you take DJ Quick, you make him work with Christina Aguilera, you make him work with whoever. It doesn't matter. You're going to get DJ Quick.
Yeah. And
Sugar Free, he's going to give you DJ Quick no matter where he's at. To me, and I think Dre does that, but I think also he has the ability. Like for instance, when he worked with Gwen Stefani on was that Rich Girl? Did he do Rich Girl? I don't know if he did Rich Girl, but he did something with Gwen Stefani. And I'm like, I didn't even know that was a Dre record. That's what Quick, for me, Quick, once again, there's a lot of Dre moments that remind me of home, but he became such a larger than life figure. For me, Quick is just like, that shit smells like home.
Yeah.
To this day.
Yeah.
It just smells like home. So,
yeah. Absolutely.
Let me get you another one. Let's see. I'm going to go with 50 Cent or Mobb Deep.
Damn. I did not expect that.
As a group.
50 50 Cent, because they signed Mobb D. You disqualify yourself when you get signed by the nigga. Yeah. You get signed by, you disqualify. I love, look, they for sure, I'm pretty sure they inspired 50, but man, for everything that 50 stands for even musically what he was at that point in time, and for the just being in a position of where he could open up the doors and give them another surge and opportunity to be seen on a mainstream level at that point in time. I give it to 50, bro. Like, and plus, I still read his books, even if I don't listen to his music as much as I used to. What is it? Was it Grind Harder? What is it? I forget the name of the book. The Grind Harder, something hard. I forget what it is, but I just read that. I just did an audio book of that. I'm like, this nigga. Not only is he the most pettiest in the world, but he's genius still. Yeah, petty as all hell. Yeah, but he's genius.
Absolutely.
So I think from a branding standpoint, from a music standpoint, for me, 50, yeah, that was undeniable.
Dilla or Madlib? It's a wobbler.
see, and mind you, when I'm saying some of these, it's not by I'm going to say Dilla, but I'm going to say I love what Madlib did to Dilla. When Dilla came out to the West Coast and we got beats like Fantasy. Like when you mix that Detroit swing with a little bit of like the West Coast funk and that to me was the best. So like I'm so glad. It's almost like you can't give Michael Jordan all these props and then act like Scottie Pippen was it.
Because that champion sound like
he wins nothing.
Yeah. I'm gonna lie to what you just said, like how Dilla came, you feel me, out here and he brung that Detroit swing, but they mixed it with like the Cali shit. That's why I can. That's why I can
my
appreciate
favorite Dilla. Like I love all the classic shit, but my favorite Dilla is when he got in that when I could tell he met Madlib.
Yeah.
Or he was inspired by him.
It makes me appreciate like some of the newer shit. Like I don't know if you like fuck with some of the newer Detroit artists. Like they doing like the spice rap or whatever that you want to call it. You feel me? All that shit. I love that shit because it's just like you could tell they was in that like just have fun bag, and it's like it got like a certain like bounce to it. Look, when they mix it with our shit,
I love this shit, bro. Because you know what? Like as much as I'm on my hip hop shit. I love ignorant shit, but I love when it's creative.
You feel me?
I love it when it's some shit that's like, damn, what made you make that song? I got out the hair, I got my hair cut.
Yeah.
Like I was listening to something the other day, and it was like one of these memes, and I forget how the hook go or whatever. But I'm like, bro, thank you for shaking this shit, because sometimes shit can get so serious that we lose that aspect. Because I get inspired by seeing these other songs that I'm like, oh, so you just gonna let yourself be completely creatively free. Sometimes I can get so much in the weeds of matching syllables, so much in the weeds of making sure that this entendre fits a certain way, or so much in the weeds of the craft that I could take the fun out of my own shit.
That's how it be sometimes.
Right? And for me, I had to erase the conversation of simplifying or dumbing down my shit. Like, to me, that's talk as if I'm signed. I'm not signed. Had to keep reminding, I'm not signed. If I decide to take a day off today and I just want to do some shit where I use less words than usual, why don't I have them? Why do I have any kind of reservations about that? Why do I have reservations about that, but I get on a podcast and I have those days?
You feel me?
It's lit. Yep. And you kind of touched on that earlier.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why podcasting to me, I feel like, where do you go to the gym when you want to work out your voice? Not your lyrics. You go to your pad, or you go to your phone when you want to work your. Where do you go to the gym when you want to work out your voice? And you don't have